going that far, but it's one of those where you need it, right? The other thing in life, you need one.
Whatever that one is in yours, you just need it, right? You need, and we use this term for certain things, but you can use it for a lot of stuff. You need a slump buster. Coastal Carolina was South Carolina's slump buster. Thank you very much, Coastal Carolina. Greatly appreciated. South Carolina needed that. From the Jaden Sellers, first play from scrimmage, 75-yard burst for a touchdown, to Lenore Sellers having the David Sellers had. Just a host of folks who had a really fine Saturday. And there was a list, man. We got a ton of them. You look through it. Lenore Sellers, 16 of 20 for 274, a couple touchdowns, averaged almost 14 yards an attempt. You had Sellers also leading the way, 8 rushes, 82 yards. South Carolina ran for 264, almost 7 yards of pop through for 315, over 10 and a half an attempt. Yes, it was an offensive explosion against Coastal Carolina. You don't go too far with it. They were 121st in the country in defensive efficiency. I'm going to be kind. Defensively, they stink. But it was kind. It was nice. It could have been worse. They're not a good defense. But South Carolina did what you do to a team that's not good defensively. You gain a lot of yards, you score a lot of points. And that's what the Gamecocks did. They gained a lot of yards, scored a lot of points. When you're sitting there, at halftime at 37-0, that's a good thing. You're already over 300 yards in the first half. That's a good thing. You ended up with 579 in total yards. That's great. 51 points, 25 first downs. We could go over this all day. 6 of 11 on third down. A lot of folks got in the game. Besides the block one, which, by the way, drove Shakespeare crazy, that prevented the shutout. You got a defensive shutout. From the block, it's just the block punt and the 7 penalties. And some of those penalties were the offensive line. But the offensive line, for the most part, they did good work. And again, you don't want to make too much of it because it was Coastal, a team that struggles on D, but you just need it down against anybody. Honestly. Didn't matter. Coastal Carolina, Coastal North Dakota, Coastal New Zealand. Who cares? You laid the wood to somebody, your offense cooked like it hasn't cooked all year. And you just need it. You need that feeling. You need a game like that when you just bust out. Everybody get a little pace. You can empty the bench. You get guys in the game that hadn't had a chance to play for a bit because, well, you haven't had a game like this. So it's just good all the way around. I don't want to. Again, I'm trying to temporate, but here's the thing. You didn't even do this against South Carolina State or Virginia Tech or Kentucky. This was the first time all year that we've seen the talent. We've said this team talent all the time, right? Well, this is the first time we've seen the talent and the production really match. When you look at Lenore Sellers' numbers, Lenore Sellers, now think about this for a minute. Here's a guy that's one of the most pressured quarterbacks in America, South Carolina, not in the SEC, in America, including the last one. Lenore Sellers was only pressured out of 24 dropbacks. Sellers was pressured 3 times. That's it. 12.5% of his dropbacks. That's it. That's it. Sellers was blitzed 33% of his dropbacks. And was 6 of 7 on those blitzing opportunities for 149 yards and a touchdown. It was just a good day for Lenore. His adjusted completion percentage was 85%, which is basically a throw. One of the completions, I don't know how he did this. I really don't. It was the first half. deep in the Coastal Carolina red zone. 5-yard line.
Somehow
Sellers got the ball
in
in
between
two
two Carolina,
Coastal Carolina DBs, and actually
hit Donovan Murphy in the hands. It was a ball going through people,
and
and Murphy couldn't quite corral it. I don't know how long Sellers got it. I don't think it was officially dropped.
But that was a really throw. And Murphy hit Murphy in the hands, but it wasn't an easy catch because, again, if you're playing wide receivers, if you can't see the ball until the very last minute, you're just kind of reacting and gripping. But Norris was excellent. Ran the ball excellent. Threw the ball really well. He got the ball out of his hands quick. We've been screaming about this all year. Get the ball out of Norris hands quick because you know what? The offensive line is struggling with pass protection. You don't want the guy holding the ball in the pocket, hoping that the offensive line that can't pass protect all of a sudden pass. If you look at total time to throw, when Norris got it out in 2.5 seconds, when Woods got it out in less than 2.5 seconds, get the ball out. I mean, total time to throw
before Norris went loose was under 3 seconds.
There was a good rhythm to the offense, rhythm to the passing game. You got the ball out. You let guys yak yards. It was nice. And again, that's what you do to a bad defense. You make it wish it wasn't bad because you were going to spend a lot of time in the end zone. And that's what's South Carolina. So Norris Sellers an excellent game.
What was interesting too was Sellers.
South Carolina used play action 46% of the drops. Well, Norris Sellers has been really good in play action this year. I mean, it wasn't for a ton of yards down the field, but still about 8 yards in attempt, 11 dropbacks
in play action. So
if you look at this in the screen game,
about 28% of the throws were screens,
38% of screens, 8 of 9, one screen to Jaden Sellers on the first play for a touchdown. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I know Jaden Sellers is that fast. I know he had a little wiggle to get some yards after the catch. But I didn't know Jaden Sellers could run that fast. Again, he's not running that fast against the Oklahoma defense or the Georgia defense again. But still, Jaden Sellers, that was nice. And you need it. You need it on that first play. You did not want to, like the cliche, play with your feet. You just didn't. Jaden Sellers that catch run for a touchdown. Sellers 127 yards on 4 catches on 4 targets. Just again, the passing offense. Donovan Murphy, the other freshman, popped. Had a nice game, a touchdown catch. 6 targets, 4 grabs for 58. Brian Rowe, he caught a whole lot of yards. His team with 4 or 5 targets. The other one, Brian Rowe caught. So it was the only drop. You really get Brian Rowe the only official drop. Well,
in that swing route to the right in the first half.
I mean, I love the way
that they used Jordan Howe and Matthew Fuller and the run game.
Look,
we talked about Jordan Howe last year.
And it was like
you watch him, it didn't take a genius to say, that guy's got a little something. Huge numbers at South Carolina State.
And however, had a nice ball game that fumbled the Super Bowl that disappeared because these old milk cartons. And wasn't really being used this year. And all of a sudden, since Mike Curry took over as the play caller / MOC or whatever you want to call him, all of a sudden Jordan Howe was popping. 4 carries for 23 yards. Looked really good catching the ball. Backfield. Broke 4 tackles in 4 carries. He's got something. I mean, look, I just think, now he's using him as a big part of the offense. I mean, it helped to get Texas A&M in the first half last week. Saturday. How I like Hal. To me, he's been
underutilized. And could it be that Shane really values practice? Maybe he's not a great practice player.
Maybe
Maybe
there's
there was
taking
time
time
to really get. Maybe he was having trouble with the verbiage. I don't know.
But
But
now
now
you
you
see
see
more
Jordan
how
how
he
get on the
feels
field and it's paying
big.
some dividends.
Matthew
Matthew
Fuller
Fuller was solid with
63
yards on 8 runs, averaging 8 yards a pop. With
Sellers led
led the way,
running
running
for
for
82.
82.
Again,
Lennar's
Lennar's so much more
more comfortable.
scrambles to
Scrambled
pick
to
up
pick
55
up 5
yards
yards. There was
design runs for
27.
27. I mean, we can
we could
blather
blather on about this.
We
We
really
really could.
But the
But the
offensive
offensive
line is
line
where
is
I
where I
really
really
want
want
to
to spin to before we jump the break.
Offensive line and pass protection was good. With Nick Sharp,
Surratt, and just Thompson. Thompson was really good. Shivers, Boaz, Stanley, the whole crew
was
was
excellent in pass protection. Excellent.
Only,
according to Pro Focus, I
I
believe
believe 2 pressures is all they were thrown at.
So just a good all around. And the defense obviously picked the shutout.
The whole thing was great.
On both those sides. We'll talk more about it again. Where does it go from here? What do you think of Mike Murray? What do you take from this game to just in your head after this disappointing season? No, it doesn't erase the disappointment of 2025. It's still a 4-win team
right now.
But it was a nice Saturday to go. All right,
this is cool.
And we'll talk more about
that.
All right, everybody, Jay Phelps is going to jump in with us here just a little bit by phone. If you saw Jay's social media post, he will be starting the next step of his treatment for bladder cancer. So he will be with us Ken this week. And look, you know, and I do appreciate everyone who's coming to me and saying, hey, tell Jay we're thinking of him, he's in our phone, whatever the case, we appreciate it. We try to keep it light here and fun. Because, I mean, this is the playground of the world, talking sports for a living. And, but obviously, you know, we wish our man nothing but the best, and he's in all our thoughts here as he moves into the next stage of, you know, taking care of this health issue that has arisen in his life. And again, he'll be with us for the next segment. We'll talk then about what happened on Saturday. Also, we'll have basketball over the weekend. A lot to get to here on the Postgame Show, live from JT's Kia on Grayson. Please bring us non-perishable food items. Help out and feed folks. Again, it's Beat Clemson, beat Hunt. We'll come back and talk to Jay on the Postgame Show next week. What's up, Kale? All right, you need to do me a. I'm gonna try to do it. Crap. All right, here's what you're gonna do, Kale. You're gonna learn something. I know. I don't. No, these are Jen. I need you to do me a favor. This is what I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna real quick that Palmetto propane. You see it? The music bed. Move right now. Click on the bed. Click on move and get it out of the way. Move it down to the next stop set, and we'll work from there, okay? Move the music bed, and then you see the red that says Palmetto Propane? Move that down too, all right? And we're going to work from there. Too late. I'll just put me on really quick. Just dump it, Kale. Dump it really quick for me. Okay. Hit the next thing. You're fine. All right. Now I want you to drop down to the next stop set. Are you in the second stop set? Kale. You're okay. All right, go down to the second stop set. Look for a 60-second commercial. Drop down to the second stop set. Just grab a 60. No, you don't want that one. That's another live. Okay. Look for something that's not a live. We don't want a live here. We want a recorded spot that's a 60. They're the green ones. You're okay. No. Yeah, I need a 60. All right. Click on it. Hit move. And move it up. into this stop set that's playing right now. Okay, move it up. Okay, now I want you to. It's okay. It's no big deal. I want you to then. You know how to search for something in the OpEx over there on the right? Yeah. Click insert at the bottom. You see where it says insert on the. Okay, click insert. Now go up to where you search for stuff, and you want to click. You want to click into liners. You know what? Let me jump in here. I'm going to jump in really quick. Okay, so if I can do it, I can try to do it. I got all this stuff. I should have done this before I left. I forgot. This is on me. It's okay. See if I can do it. No, that's commercials. That's okay, bud. Just give me a second. See what I can do. Jump in here and mess around, so I'm gonna jump in there. So be ready. Okay? Ain't no big deal. I got so busy I didn't get you downstairs. All right, I think hopefully I can get it right next to it. We'll find out. And Jay's gonna be calling. Yeah. No, he's calling now. That's okay. I'll just jump in. No. Let him call you.
Don't you follow me up there? No. I'd be too late.
Live from JT's
on
Greystone, JT's Kia.
We'll
be hanging out here all the way till 6. Please bring non-perishable food items to help us out as we
beat
Clemson, beat Hunger Week again.
Like we've been doing every year for the last 3-4 years. So feel free to help us out as we try to
battle hunger here in the Midlands. A lot of folks.
All right, so we'll get with everybody. And we got it real quick. It was very interesting. Kill, get ready. I'm going to throw you some sound play. The chat makes it say it's a lot easier. You're comfortable doing all these things when you're not playing against an SEC defense. And I'm paraphrasing the chat. And I know I agree 100%. We said this at least 4 or 5 times in the opening rip. And remember, you're playing against Coastal Carolina. So no one is like sitting around saying, "Oh boy, this offense is fixed, and Lord Sellers is this, and this offensive line is that." No. What we're saying is that it was just good to see this team produce. And they didn't produce. We produced earlier in the year against South Carolina State. There was issues. So my point is, it was just nice to see this for Saturday. Was it me moving forward? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if this can translate against Clemson. And if this team does score a ton of points and get it going against Clemson, that would be fantastic. We can also say, Clemson has had their share of disappointment this year. They have not been who they were hoping to be. So really, you got 2 disappointing teams going at each other on Saturday at noon. Of course, all our stuff starts up at 7 o'clock. Gamecocks game from Jay's Corner. 7 a.m. Kickoff is at noon. Stated. It is going to be an interesting game. And no one's saying that,
South
Carolina
putting 51 on the
121st
ranked defense regarding efficiency in the country means everything's great and wonderful,
and you
and you
can forget the
the
rest
rest
of
of
the
the
disappointments
disappointment
of 2025.
2025.
No
No,
one's
no
saying.
one's saying.
I'm just saying,
Just
it's
saying,
always good to enjoy a Saturday
Saturday
like that when you have not
I've
seen that all season, and the
and the
frustration is
frustration is
built,
built,
and it's been so
and so
disappointing.
disappointing.
And it's just
It's
nice
just
to
nice.
see. That's all it
All it
is.
is.
You can make less of it, you can make more of
More
it.
of
To me, it was just fun to watch this
this
team
team
break
break
open
open
and
and
really
really
get
get
it. That's
That's
for
for
me.
me.
I
I
thought
thought
that was
that was
fantastic.
fantastic.
And we'll
And
see
we'll see
what
what
it
it
means
means
from
from
here
here.
when
South
South
Carolina
takes
takes
on
on
Clemson
Clemson
on
on
Saturday.
Saturday.
The other
The other
part of this
part of this
conversation,
conversation,
really the
really
lead,
the
is
lead
the
is the
offense
offense
in the
in the
last two
last 2
games. Mike
games.
Furry
Mike
has
Furry
been in charge of it.
of it.
And
And
what does
what does
Saturday
Saturday
mean?
mean?
If you
If
want
you
to
want
ask
to
me,
ask
it's
me,
like,
it's
it's
good.
great. Again, you saw some things like
the
the ball out quick. They're
They
changing
changed
some
some
things
things
up
up
in the run game, using some
using
personnel they
personnel
haven't
they
really
haven't
used. Seems like, doing some more things that are to Morris's strength, and maybe asking him to do less, and just instead of maybe doing things he's not fully developed the skills at, you're just going back to saying, man, this is what you do really well. Let's do a lot of things
you do really well.
Let's go.
Let's go.
What do you see? And sometimes you're just making things simple, making things streamlined. Sometimes that's just the easy way to handle your business. When you've got a guy maybe he's thinking too much, maybe he's trying to do too many things. Just sometimes you just strip it all down and just say, look, man, we're going to streamline this baby. Think less, go play. Because, look, the second half against Texas A&M was not good. Offensively,
defensively, it wasn't good anywhere.
And the offense, was like all of a sudden, it looked like it did before Mike Purdy took it over. But the first half against A&M, there was some stuff going on.
That was cool.
Against Coastal, that was interesting. It doesn't mean Mike Purdy should be the offensive coordinator off what happened. Not at all. But you did see some stuff you liked. Who knows what happens against Clemson? You take this thing week by week, and if you're Shane Beamer, you're going to sit down at the end of the year and figure out what direction you're going to go, because this offensive coordinator hire is really, really, really important to the future of the football program under Shane, really for Shane. Because this year, look, the defense has been good. Good enough. The special teams, for the most part, have been good enough. The offense has not been good. And in the ultimate team game, everybody can be better, and every unit can be better, but let's just be real. If we're listing the number one, the culprits, what happened this year, the number one culprit is the offense. It's been the biggest problem. It's the one everybody's whispering about in the hallway. When you're in school, you walk down the hall and did something. Yeah, that's him right there. They believe he did that. Yeah, he really did. That's the offense. That's what's happening. A huge disappointment. So, I mean, if it's me, and I'm going to see the Clemson game, obviously. I mean, Clemson this year has not had the season I thought they were going to have. So they're not the best moves either, upstate. But, if Mike Purdy's offense is really productive and scores a bunch of points and gains a lot of yards, then, does Mike Purdy go in the candidate pool? Sure. Again, I'm not there every day. I mean, we're sitting here as fans and talk show blabbers, and we I don't know. We're not there. We don't know what's going on with Mike Purdy and how he's putting together what he's putting together. We don't know. So all we can do is go by what we know. And that's watching the game and seeing the production from us. That's all we got, to be quite honest. So at the end of the day, what we see is all we can kind of run through our head. I still think right now, again, looking back at this, if you're Shane Beaver, this is such an important hire. There's nothing against Mike Purdy. I like some of the things he says. I like some of the things I've seen. But if I'm Shane Beamer and I know how important next year is to a lot of people, including me, I don't know if I can promote from within someone who on a Power 4 level has never been a coordinator or a Group of 5 level has never been a coordinator. I don't think he can do it. And again, it's something against my turn. Sometimes timing is everything in life for the good. This time it might be for the bad. It's not to say Mike Frank could be held in OC. I don't know. That's why I said trade to him every day. If Shane goes that way, you still work. But me, I'm just thinking I'm probably going to get an experienced offensive coordinator / play caller, either in the power conferences or someone who's done it at a high level, 5, whatever the case. But I'm going to go get somebody with some skills in the game with experience. And when I say experience, I'm not saying he's got to be a 20-year vet. I'm just saying it's got to be someone who has done this. I mean, we hear names. You throw the name like a Kate Bell sitting at Pitt. He's got experience, not a lot, but what he's doing is innovative and interesting. And do you put a guy like that on your radar? You take one of these young guys who hasn't been doing it for a long time, but has been doing it on a high level. I don't know. I think if you're Shane, you talk to people who are interested, you look at your candidates, you are looking for someone to run an offense, not just to fit with Norris's skill set, but because of Norris is back next year. Who knows? Maybe not. We don't know. But you got to put together an offense that's going to work in today's world of college football. And you see the things around you that work. You see the explosiveness of other teams. You see ways people manipulate the hash marks or the kind of run games, the passing schemes and systems. You see it. Now, you got to, with your candidates, people that you're interested in, are also interested in, and you take it from there. But me, I would go experience. There's been a lot of talk about the dude at the University of Cincinnati who's got connections with the program, with Sean Elliott, work with Sean. That offense has been really good this year. But you just got to get it right. And me, I have to go with somebody experienced. And again, no offense to me. Again, timing and everything in life, sometimes it's good and sometimes it sucks. All right, like I said, we'll be talking with our buddy Jay Phillips at some point on the show. We will come back, though, get you some sound from Shane post-game of the victory over Central Florida. We'll come back and we will get Shane talking about how the team recovered from the disappointment in College Station. That's next on the Postgame Show live from JT's Kia. Greystone, non-perishable food items. Please bring them by. Help us out. We would appreciate it as we go with our Beat Clemson Beat Hunger Week right here on the game. I can't, dude. I've got 10 things going on in front of me right now. I'm trying to fix the OpEx. I'm talking while I'm not even paying attention to what I'm saying, to be quite honest. It is kind of funny, though. It's all right. No, it's good, man. It's fine, because I'm just trying to figure I can't see the sun. I'm trying to get this thing fixed. There we go. That's what we needed. That played. It's perfect. Yeah, it's really got to give me any signal. That's the problem. Because Jay's got live in here, I got to fix it. I should have came down and done myself. How you doing, man?
How you doing?
Doing good. Feel free to grab some stickers, whatever you want there. You're all good. I'll help you out. You got a handful there. Let me help you out there real quick.
Yeah,
you got it. I'll get you.
Thank you. Go Gamecocks. Met your pillow at home.
There, take a bunch.
Oh,
There you go.
Thank you.
How you doing? It's for you.
Thank you.
Take them with you.
You should beat Clemson, right?
put it on this sheet. No windows. I had no windows.
We just played a Griffin Pool and Spa for Jane, right?
The shortest person. You didn't be the nigga putting a stick on.
I'm moving around sheet
The whole body going with it.
We move around sheet metal. We got to have one about 5 fucking pairs of gloves. That bitch will cut me. That's the normal deck. The normal deck. Yeah. The deck. This is one on. But it takes Cisco. The nights I did the what's it called?
You got the lunch.
Where you going?
That's the thing.
Yeah. What does that mean? I mean, I'm fuck with you. Yeah, I mean, I see you outside here, I speak to you. But I'm not about to go in here in no freezing cold. Then I see him, boom, drop the milk.
See, it's the freeze up. Oh, no.
I said, man, it's like an ice skating rink out here, bro.
All right, hey, Kale, play.
Where you working?
Cut 4, strip sack, quarter. On the bumper, on the bumper.
All day. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Bro, that nigga dropped that milk, bro. That shit said Christ. I said, oh, man, I'm fucked up.
He got one of them little skyjacker things. Raise up so you can get your third story. No. He ain't the cooler guy. 3 stories.
Yeah, the camera fell. I gotta fix it.
And a shot to clears out of the gun will take the quarterback. He's in some trouble, gets hit as he throws it. There's a scramble for it around the 30. I think his arm was out. Off the edge, Brian. Top you go. They say Carolina football.
Covered by South Carolina.
Turnover in shot clear territory.
Brian Thomas set himself a nice game. Pressures are stacked.
Rated out about
70 pro football.
Good day for Brian Thomas. Good day for South Carolina in general. In a 51-7 win over Coastal. Yes. On the chat.
I have fallen and I can't get up. Another camera fell. I have to get it back where it needs to be. Oh, bleep. Where'd the camera go? So we'll get that back here just a little bit. Right now, I think you're getting a great shot at my feet or the ground.
Or a table or whatever. We're here at JT's. Kia. Lloyd Greystone. We are on live till 6. And we're again. It is Hunger Awareness Month. And if you can just bring out food items, we would appreciate it if you look at Thanksgiving season. The last time I checked, folks like to eat. In general, they like to eat, but holiday season is also a special thing. So any non-perishable food items,
Greatly appreciate it.
as we again hang here at JT's, Keel from Greystone. And again, if you're watching the video chat right now, it looks like I fixed it. And we'll get that fixed coming up in the next break. All right, so anyway, Shane Beaver, we're going to
what is it?
cut 16 here in a second.
Basically, Shane talking about
recovering from last week's catastrophic meltdown in College Station,
where you won a 33 halftime
lose to Texas A&M, and then bounce back this past Saturday. And again, not in the SEC, get it, but still put together your best performance of the season, coming off again. Blowing of a lead, there are a lot of teams who have checked out. They've been done through this season, so we can't believe that happened. But they all kept it together and went out and had a big performance against Coach. Here's Shane talking about getting over last week.
I can't express how hurt and devastated that locker room was last Saturday. I mean, that was really, really hard. And how quiet that plane ride was back from College Station on Saturday night. I mean, that was a really hard day and a really emotional day. So I knew how much they hurt, but I was telling them, maybe I told you guys, but I say it all the time. I told the TV crew yesterday, we always practice after I get off the teleconference with you guys on Sunday. We always go out on the practice field. I did say this. And we, is it the greatest practice ever when we go out there and start? Probably not. But then at the end, we always do like the young guys that y'all saw out there tonight at the end of the game. We put them in for about a 15 or 20 play. It's just switch. And that's like a switch that flips. And that's kind of when the emotions get going. It's energetic. It's competitive. It's intense. It's physical to the point where last Sunday night I had to pull a couple of guys aside and be like, not trying to get our team hurt on Sunday night, but it was spirited and the guys were into it. And on the final play of the scrimmage, Jimmy Framp, our young quarterback, threw a deep touchdown pass to a receiver, and the whole offense ran like 80 yards down there, and it was a celebration and felt like we had just won the Super Bowl. And I walked off the field saying, all right, we're gonna be okay, because I feel that way every Sunday when we come off the practice field. And if we didn't, I'd be concerned, but you know how they're going to respond. And then the way we practice this week, but it's worried because Coastal's got a good football team that can score points. They do enough on special teams, as we saw with the freaking block punt, to create some problems. And they try to throw a double pass on us. They do things like that where they can junk it up enough and score some points where all of a sudden you're in a dogfight. And it wasn't lost on me, Pete.
That's all right. I'll let it go this time.
We were in a dogfight with Old Dominion last year.
No, not today. I'll go to break early, then we'll come back and get him, okay?
22. We blocked 2 punts for touchdowns, thankfully, that night. But Jacksonville State, we've had some games in the last 3-4 years that we didn't always go out and dominate like we did tonight. And that's what excites me, is the way that our guys went out there and dominated.
You hear Shane's voice as a freaking block punt drives him insane. Which I get it, you're a special teams guy. And, the only blemish in a 51-7 win is a block punt. And that's kind of like your wheelhouse, special teams. I get it. But there's a lot going on Saturday. And, again, the thing, it does not erase what's going on this year. I'm going to keep saying this for 3 hours. No one's trying to sit here and put lipstick on 4-7. But the good news is this team could have folded. In a transfer portal era, you look at Florida right now. It was Florida. It flipped. You have interim head coach, season's over. They're all, who knows what's going to happen there when it's all said and done. But in this era, where you can go, screw this, man, 4-7, I'm out. Or I didn't play as much as I wanted to this year, we stink, and I should have played. Whatever. The one thing that Shane has done in the 2 years where South Carolina has been underwhelming is these guys kept it together and played hard. We were 2 years ago at 5-7. It got to 5-6, and then they lost to Clemson at home. But you never said, "Well, those guys are not playing hard. They're just trying to get to the end to go into the portal or just want to get this thing over with." They all played hard, and you saw that again on Saturday in a game where you could have sleptwalked. We've seen South Carolina sleptwalk through those type of games. Old Dominion, Georgia State game a few years ago. Jacksonville State. We've seen it a variety of times. And that was a real question. What team was going to show up on Saturday? And we saw it. The team that kicked the bleep out of Coach. So that's the one thing that seems to be in Shane's tenure. He knows how to keep everybody engaged. All right, we're going to pop back here and talk to some dude named Jay Phillips who's holding on, and he's Stalk and Kale, the producer, and Torres. We'll let him get on the air. That's coming up next. We're hanging out here, Postgame Show, live from JT's. Bring some non-perishable food items. Help us beat Clemson and beat hunger in the month of November. Jay, will you have what's next here on the Postgame Show, live from JT's Kia on the game? How are you?
Good. Who's off? You're by yourself?
Yeah, Jay's on phone. Oh, she ran. Her and the executive assistant. She was hungry. Yeah, she's got stuff. She wasn't going to go. So Gina, go get something. Yeah. Poor kid.
Can I sit here?
Sure.
Just for a minute?
He's off for Thanksgiving. So she's got him with her. And he's so funny. He came to my office. I was watching the game. And the kid said, he goes, "Michael, why don't you pull up a chair?" I go, "Bring out the whiskey. You're what, 12? Come on, we're good."
He was helping to decorate. He kept it out. So, yeah. And she put the balls of the thing. And he walked in and he was holding the phone. I said, "What, do you like that with that?" And he goes, "Yeah." Switch it.
He is. It's interesting. He told me the business was up to she's told me about it for just a minute. I'm like, good for you. He's very nice kid. He's just, and obviously, she just said it's a lot of stuff. Hey, you do what you gotta do. I ain't my business. You hang in there. You can come to my office and watch football. I could care less. He's a very nice kid.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, she was like,
people stop at Starbucks and stuff.
yeah, I hope they get people stuff. Something usually when it happens, it'll happen like after 4:30 to 6. Yeah, usually 4:30 to 6. And then get some people to stop. That's what happened. The church went really well. That for me, that went really well. Over the dinner thing, they dropped off some stuff at 5 after 5. But we just told them we're not here. I don't know if they have anything set up in here. They take stuff. They take stuff behind. Yeah, right. Give me your ass.
Red and all. That's what y'all like. I had red and blue.
Come on now. What are you doing here?
I was reading. I read. Yeah. I can't read. You like niggas that read?
Most people who drive dying to get me a kiss. Just put Jones in front.
Yeah.
I'm tired of all this luxury in my car. I'm sick of it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here, man. Hey, Kale, off the bumper. Give me Beamer's halftime comments. Cut one. All right, you're the man, bud. Thank you, appreciate it. Jay's on hold, right? Sweet. Oh yeah, I know. The one guy was funny because I've called 911. It's pretty funny. Pretty good. Yeah, thing came on, tipped off.
It was all good just a week ago. You didn't think that.
I'm really proud of our players and the way they started the football game, ready to play, making plays, and that's kind of what this half has been. Just individual players making plays, offense, defense, and special teams. I don't like the way we played offense the last 2 possessions of the half outside of that long pass to Murph. That looked like some of the crap we dealt with early in the season with some of the pre-snap penalties and not being able to run the ball. But overall, really pleased with the first 30 minutes and see if we can do play better in the second half than we did last week.
All right, there's Shane Bieber's halftime
Halftime
comments.
comments. Going in the locker room.
They gigantically at halftime against Coastal Carolina. That really sucked. There's so many we could go for. But what we're going to say is, when you're on the cusp of playing for the ACC championship at home, and your stadium is sold out, something that hasn't happened consistently for a long time, and then you lose. We're talking about you, Georgia Tech. That really sucked. Pitt won, and Jay Phillips is with us. Jay, Pittsburgh is stumbling around, making life miserable for folks. They have a chance to pretty much end Miami's hopes of anything this coming up Saturday.
Georgia Tech and I told you guys I didn't like it. Tech was a 2.5 point favorite. I was like, it's going to come the party. But then I still said, oh, no, Georgia Tech. And I was
yeah, way to go.
Georgia Tech
really had a chance to play for the ACC championship. Yeah, and
it really sucked for Georgia.
Yeah, 2 and 3 on the league. I don't have them in front of me. I am driving. I'll get you. We did have a winner.
Well, that really sucked.
That really sucked. We didn't win.
Either when he or
wow.
Woo. Anyway, but to your point that you mentioned a minute ago about Carolina, to me, in terms of how they started, was really important, and I put that in my central thing. I told you that on Friday, and that's how I really this ball game was. I'll know pretty quickly Carolina has come to play, and I thought that was important. So it was good to see them really assert themselves from the get-go. They had, I thought, was at least a modicum of creativity on offense. You didn't need to show too much of what you're working on, perhaps. I thought Lenoris had fun. He certainly had fun throwing a big touchdown to his brother. 2 of your big names in Harbor and Stewart didn't play, and Stewart doesn't play offense. But, so there's still, and Terry, whatever it would be worth for people, and it's probably not much, but the computer percentage for Carolina went like 67% or 64% to win this game this weekend, which goes back to a point I was making to you. I really, you need to win this game for a lot of reasons. It's not must win, and it's not, Shane's coming back, and there's a plan in place for next year. But boy, when you're supposed to beat Clemson, which has not been, Carolina hadn't been in this kind of situation as a favorite to beat Clemson in a long time. I'd like to see them take advantage of that chance. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I mean, when you're and you have a chance also to make it 3 out of 4, okay, to be honest, which is great.
It's been a while since the ball coach won 5 straight of these against the Tigers. So it's sitting there for you. And if you win a game, you're a slight favorite right now, last time I checked. If you can find a way to win that game and you go 5-7, it doesn't fix everything. It's been a year. I use that professional term again. But it's just the idea that at least you ended it on a note where you won 2 straight. And you beat your rival. At least you go into the offseason with at least a nice taste in your mouth and not that nasty, like morning breath thing, and you have no toothbrush.
Yeah, and it's been, am I right? It's 12 years since Carolina won in Columbia in this game?
I believe you are correct, sir. I think I saw that today. I think you are right.
Time to win it big straight. But Saturday, look, I get what people say, you take it with a grain of salt. That Coastal's good. They're not great. But you really came out and look, I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised Carolina won that comfortably and to change frustration over the point, that was bad. And that was all that Coach ever mustered. You know, that was the score. Think about it. You didn't let them do anything. You were suffocating defensively all night. You were really opportunistic and good when it came to your own offense. You know, so to have that, your one score against you, I think is one of those things, Terry, we talk about a lot in sports, not just in Carolina, but where a coach has that kind of win, can focus on one thing for his team and go, if that happened this time, we'll do the same result. So, that was a good game for what Carolina needed.
I'll be honest.
I'm like you. I didn't expect it.
Because we haven't seen that all year, right? Why am I going to expect that when we haven't seen anything like that this year? Even against South Carolina State, right?
Right. We didn't see any of the
victories.
victories.
You know, the Kentucky game, you didn't see that. You didn't, and so I didn't expect it either. And I was surprised, not just in the score and the pummeling, but these guys were jacked, Jay. Right from the get-go. And 75-yard touchdown pass to start, everything makes it. You know, a lot better. But just the intensity they played in, and just guys jumping around, pulling for each other, and running all over the place with the excitement they had. I mean, again, it doesn't fix the ills of 2025, but it was nice to see for Saturday.
It was. And, you know, like full games, this team can always do full games now. I will never let go of that. But if you can salvage something this weekend, it will put a better taste in the mouth going forward. I can promise you that. So that's what they've got to focus on now. And again, you haven't been in a position where you're, if you will, supposed to be Clemson in quite some time. So there's that to look forward.
Now you have unlimited minutes on your phone, right?
As far as you know, if not, I'll build you the company.
Good luck with that. Hey, come on back and talk with us next segment. What do you think? What do you say? You down with that? All right, we'll get back to our buddy Jay Phillips driving around parts unknown, around Durham, North Carolina. We'll talk to Jay again, get his thoughts. We didn't get Jay's monologue. Start the show like typical on a Monday. We'll get Jay's thoughts a little bit more in depth on what happened on Saturday in South Carolina. For one Saturday, all was well in the world. The 51-7 thumping of Coastal. We'll come back and talk about it some more on a Reaction Monday, right here, live from JT's Kia, right here in Greystone. We'll talk more about that next here on the Postgame Show in the game. This is mine, Kale, CHW. Yep.
So I'm at the Kia dealership.
Yep, as you already said, yep, that's mine. Star in the CHW cabinetry. We had this conversation a lot about they can put cabinets anywhere. Pick a place. I'm trying to push for put them on your roof. You never know, you might need a cabinet on your roof. Wherever you want a cabinet. CHW Cabinetry can do it. You want to see the quality of work, just go to CHWCabinetry.com and check it. You'll see the fine quality cabinetry that has been put all over a home, inside and out. Also, they do photorealistic renderings, which is so cool because you can watch the entire process lay out step by step by step. Customer service, they will be with you holding your hand or both of your hands if you need be all the way through the process. Call 803-520-6837. Again, 803-520-6837. CHW Cabinetry. Give them a call. Check them out online. CHWCabinetry.com. They will make sure you're satisfied with the cabinetry. All right, Kale, do me a solid. Crap. Okay. Hey. All right, Kale, I'll be right back, bud.
If it's not a lot, we can take it. Right. I'm just telling him that I had a good have you been out to the other one. Yeah.
It's like
Well,
Steven, does that please, Steven?
I was gonna go by after I got here. So I'm gonna tell him by there.
they didn't know when I brought them out. What the person did.
Would you buy me to eat?
You wanted something?
No.
No, you didn't.
Of course, me a big peanut butter and jelly sandwich before I left. And I ate all Tammy's candy out of her office.
Between me and you, but I think you got me beat. But I do replace candy. You don't. That's the difference.
I know it's just replacing.
I
just eat it. You replace it, I eat
I had
it.
to go by Drury Street. I was going to grab a little slice of pizza, but they were closed on Monday.
I think it's good though. I eat it, you replace it. That works perfect for me. I think it's a good idea.
You got to replace at least once a year, twice a year, as much as you eat. This is the place we will remember the last time.
Yeah, a couple of years ago we did the big scene. Oh, that's you remember? I forgot about that. Yeah, now I remember. Oh, yeah, remember that? I totally forgot about it until you just said something.
Okay, I let the agency know.
All right, Kale. Hey, Kale. Kale.
Oh, Julius?
Steven, still there.
All right, postgame
All
show.
right, postgame
Hanging here live at JT's Keo on Greystone. Again, collecting non-perishable food items in the Hunger Week, like we've been doing here for the last few years. So stop by non-perishable food items to help keep folks during this holiday season. Look, people need food, not just through the holidays, obviously, but November is Hunger Awareness Month, and we just you can help us out. We would greatly appreciate it. Again, we're over here at JT's Keo on Greystone. Please feel free. We'll be here till 6. Drop by some non-perishable food items on your way to wherever you are
heading in your daily life. We appreciate it. All right, Jay Phillips hanging out with us as he is navigating through the. Where are you navigating?
We're in Fayetteville.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I
was going to Grandma's house on 95.
Yeah, I used to. That's my trip. 95 past Fayetteville. I used to stop at Fayetteville, but I can't anymore. Can't really get into that right now. So there's something going on with the local authorities. But it's a nice place. I like Fayetteville. I wish I could go back. It's a shame. Fine town. Absolutely. All right, man. Well, you were busy doing what you need to do this week. And we talked about our thoughts. The show basically, look, no one's going to sit here and act like beating Coastal like a drum fixes the season you had. It was disappointing. It was underachieving and all those things. But it was just, I called it like in life, when things just start going your way, you need that slump buster in life. That was a nice little slump buster. You got to go have fun, do all the things. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had one consistent, and you know you had, you should have won. I suppose. I think that's the right way to say it. You should have held on to beat Alabama. You had a late lead. You certainly should have found a way to score a couple times. Once you look back at A&M, and those hurt, and those would have been different things in terms of your postseason opportunity. I don't know what that does for recruiting, or does it do for recruiting, depending on your point of view. So, I know what beating Clemson does for people, and that's what you never want to keep your head on. So, that's just where the ball club is. And again, I come back to it. Yeah, I'm with you. Beating Coastal doesn't salvage anything, but playing hard, playing with that attitude, proving that what your coach said early was true, that you had shaken it off, you were mentally ready to go, is a positive sign, for where the program is. But I would use Barry. Look, the ills that need to be cured won't be cured in this offseason. If you can recruit well, that's going to be great, and obviously the OC hire is going to matter. But these ills don't get fixed. You're winning a lot more ball games back where you were in 2024, and have your name as part of the playoff discussion. Certainly have your name as part of the, if nothing else, New Year's Day Bowl discussion, which is what this program in a lot of ways is trying to become accustomed to. It twice under Shane Kennedy. So you went to a bunch of them under Steve Spurrier. It's not wrong. You went to one under Will Muschamp. It's not wrong to think that that's where this program needs. And so I think you can start to show a lot more signs of life. Showed one the other day. Go beat Clemson. Go get a good hire. Finish the recruiting season well, and things are better than they were in the days after incredibly disappointing loss to A&M. You really just blew it.
I'll throw one at you. Ready?
You ready? You set?
You're prepared? You're laser focused? I got one for you.
Yeah.
All right, so Mike Furry is in the booth, and the offense explodes against Clemson. They score in the 30s or whatever, and they gain 500 total yards. How much does he move up in the pecking order as a candidate, or do you still think, hey, that's great, he's highly considered, I like what he's done, but maybe you're still leaning toward, with everything that's on the line for next year, I really got to get a guy that's got more skins in the game in the Power 4 or high Group of 5 area when it comes to OC?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I can't answer the pecking order part because I don't know where Mike would be exactly, and I don't know. Look, this is going to be an attractive job for multiple reasons. And it may depend on how people want to look at it, Barry, but, you make a lot of money doing this. And this is a profession for these guys. Might give you the opportunity to try and, if you will, I want to hear re-recruit Lenore Sellers with Shane Beamer's help. It's a way for somebody who wins this as a Heisman candidate for a variety of reasons. It is no longer one, obviously. It's still official first-round pick, so you might not even get that chance. I don't know. But at the same time, it's an easy job. Guys want to move up, and this is a great opportunity. So, again, a lot of reasons some really good resumes put on his desk this time. He's different than maybe looking for in his first OC. But, the kids seem to be responding to what Mike Furry wants to do. And I don't think people are going to argue with who Mike Furry is or what Mike Furry's done. So to answer your question, I would say it would probably – not probably. I think it would definitely further Mike Furry's cause, assuming Mike Furry wants that job. Do we even know that? I suppose you could say, yeah, sure, why wouldn't you? But I think you made some interesting point that, does she basically have to go get somebody who's been doing it for a while? Somebody that's absolutely to have a successful offense at a high level of college for a few years. Not only that, but he has talked about this job. Also have someone who is really good at developing quarterbacks. Maybe it's not going to be Lenoris. Maybe it's going to be Tucker Wood. Maybe it's going to be Aaron Nolan. Somebody else that's out there. Who knows? So I think it would help Mike Murray, but I'd rather it perhaps in a grand scheme, Terry, keep Mike happy so that there's a play in this offense moving forward, that it's in the hands of someone who with that's had a lot more skins in the game and check four of the boxes. Because if you make Murray your OC, you still got to get his coach hire, assuming you keep John Elliott. He's going to coach a quarterback. You've got to have somebody who's ready to develop quarterbacks at a high level. So I still feel like that's going to be a big part of hire.
I'll be honest. You and I have talked about this a couple times through the year. We weren't talking about important stuff like food. It's just the idea that how much of Mike Shula having to be the offensive coordinator took away from Mike Shula, the quarterbacks coach. Because remember, last year, he was on the sideline with Lenoris. Every time Lenoris came off the field, there's Mike Shula sitting there with him, going over stuff, talking to him. And look, a quarterbacks coach is also, he is part psychologist and psychiatrist for a quarterback. He's that guy that talks to him when that quarterback is at a good series, a bad series, whatever. How much of Lenoris not having that like he did last year affected his play? I don't know. But I think it's a legit question. You've got, in this day and time, man, the quarterback is so important. He's got to, Jay, I would have a team of coaches for him. He is so important to what you have to accomplish as a football team and an offense. He needs somebody to sit there with him, and if nothing else, massage his psyche, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got to be your friend. He's got to be that bridge. The head coach is mad at you to keep it calm. They do have a team around him. Coach Cutter's there doing some things right now too, just like Mike was last year. So they do have that support system in place, but at the same time, there's one guy in charge. In tuning games, that the attention can be split from time to time, but I don't answer your question about Mike Shula directly. I'm not sure, because you're right. Last year it was Mike's role to be the advisor. When Dow was running the game. This year, did it have an impact? Maybe. I think we still come back to the analogy that I went to last week about how how the offensive line just was not there for Lenoris, and eventually he stepped into his head and how he run the play.
Yeah, I mean, look, we can talk about offense all day long, right? And OCs and systems of offense and all this other blah, 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 blah. But if your offensive line stinks, nothing matters. It just doesn't. So the number one thing he's got to get fixed in this team, I don't care what system of offense you're running, you got to fix the offensive line, or the rest of it, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I mean, what I've been saying for the past 6 weeks, Bill Walsh calls plays, but if the play blows up in 2 seconds, it doesn't matter what it's called.
Right. And to me, going into the year, it was my number one concern. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't think it was going to be this bad. Even though it was my number one concern coming into the year, I never ever thought it would get to the point it's got. I just never thought it would be like this. When it was linebackers, and linebackers ended up being pretty good. I thought it was disheartening to see just how poorly the offensive line performed relative to returning talent level, experience. I was very shocked, and that's another thing. That whether it's the new OC or whether it's Sean, coming in to fix these things, but you got to fix that. I mean, you're the worst in the conference, and there's only maybe 10 or so schools than you in the country. I think I haven't looked this week to see, but not good. Yeah, and look, whoever it's going to be, it's going to be Sean to do this again like he did back in the day. He does get a whole off season, and you go through the spring, and then you get to summer and all that. So once you get a full year of working with these guys, hopefully, even if it's a lot of the same guys or some you bring in the portal, You got a new voice in there who's been successful before. He'll get a whole calendar year to get this thing right.
Yeah. You don't have to get that right. In fact, next summer when we put a poll question out, which unit needs to improve the most, it'll just be offensive line,
Right.
offensive line, and we'll take it.
Absolutely. Oh man! All right, you got another second in here. What are you doing? You got anything happening? You doing anything?
I got one more, we're in a lot of traffic, but I got one more for you.
All right, good. I mean, you're not like vandalizing anybody's vehicle or anything. I'm like, you're okay, right?
No, I'm in my wife's car. I can't do that.
All right, we'll get back in here. Well, you could, but what would you be more worried about, dealing with Sonny or dealing with the police?
Oh, my wife.
Absolutely. All right, we are hanging here at JT's Kia on Greystone. Seriously, it is November, which is Homeless Awareness Month, and rivalry week every year here the last few years has been Beat Clemson, Beat Hunger Week. Please come help us out. Non-perishable food items. We'll be here till 6. Please bring them by. Anything would help us out a ton. It could be a whole case of something. It could be a can of something. Every little bit does help. And we're going to come back here and wrap it up with our buddy Jay Phillips next here on the Postgame Show. Terry Ford, Jay, Kale back in the studio punching the buttons. We're here till 6 in the game. Hey, Kale. Hey, Kale.
Oh, okay.
Kale. Hey, Kale. What's up, dude? How you doing? You good?
Doing great, man.
Oh, man, what's happening?
We're going to a bowl. We're going to a bowl game.
That's good. That's awesome. Somebody's got to go to a bowl game around here. Must well be you guys. Hey, Kale. Kale.
How you doing, young lady?
I'm good. How about you?
Doing good. Your online feed for the webcam is tinted.
Is it? Okay. Maybe it's my computer. I'll check. Thanks for telling me. I'll check it out. It could be the glare too. It doesn't help us.
Well, I'm watching at home and I'm like,
clean that off.
I'm down the street, so I was like, I better let him know.
Hey, young fella, can you do me a favor? What is the traffic link? I'm gonna put it on my computer. Can you help a brother out here real quick? Can you send it to me, and then give me the login? I'll just do it. Can you send me the login for the traffic, like the website? Can you email that to me? Okay. All right, let me get him. I'm trying to get a hold of him. He must not be keeping the button pushed down on the talk back. Okay. All right. So close. All right. Yeah, I'll have him give you a ring. Let me see if I can get him to get the talk back down. All right. Let me check. All right. Thanks, bud. I'll talk to you. All right.
Yeah, me at championship number 20.
Nice. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Good for you guys. Hey, bro, I'm trying to talk to you and talk
We played the
back.
winner of Jackson State and Prairie View A&M.
All right, couple things. One, the traffic tab is up in there. Ed Bird left it. Can you do me a favor, take a picture of it and send it to me? Because we have traffic coming up here in about 12 minutes. Just send me a picture. And 2, call Ed. Ed's going to help you out with some things. He might be able to clean up the audio. Okay. Yeah, call him. Do you have his number? Yeah, give him a ring as soon as you get off the phone with me after you send me the traffic stuff. Give him a call real quick. All right, and come on the back bumper. Give me cut 6 on the bumper. All right, appreciate you, bud. Thank you.
They're going to the second round. They won last Saturday too. Benedict won Saturday too.
Me too. I can't even sleep.
Cheryl and I did too. Charlotte.
7.
Nice.
Very cool.
That's your
So
spot.
we sat in the room for 2 months while we were stacked over 2 days.
You serious? That's fantastic.
So, yeah.
Before you know it, you're like, oh, that's all different things. Also, I know where I went. When did that happen? Yep. That's Tammy, the market manager. Kind of runs the whole place. Yeah, she's sitting next to me. Yes, that was a good thing to say to her. That was good. You're making points. Good job by you. No, it's probably not a good idea.
I didn't know I was going.
All right, Donovan Murph. Okay.
From the 3, Lenore's going to roll right. He's got 3 wide receivers in that direction. He's going to throw late back in the end zone. A bullet is caught. Touchdown, Carolina. Touchdown, Donovan Murph. That's his first of his career from 3 yards out. He tiptoed in the corner of the end zone.
Donovan Murph with his first collegiate touchdown. Donovan Murph had a nice game. Obviously, Jaden Sellers balled out, so to speak. He had Brian Rowe, 4 catches on 5 targets. A freshman wide receiver got to go in there, Jay Phillips, in the victory. They are the future, right? I mean, Nick Harper might be back for another year, obviously, to maybe build up his resume to pop off and give the NFL a shot. But these young freshman wide receivers, man, these are the guys we hope we will see step up big time next year in a new offense.
Yeah, and that catch by Murph was a nice one. He got himself open. Lenore's had to roll to his right there on that play, and saw Donovan hey, I'm here, throw it. And Lenore's did zip it right in there. Murph had to hold on to it. Got 2 feet in. That was a nice NFL corner of the end zone catch.
You know what's funny, Jay? I was going to bring it up. I want to check. Donovan Murphy had to check to see if all 10 of his fingers were still there. That thing was smoke from Lenore Sellers, man.
Yeah. Well, once Lenore saw him, he's like, "Oh, I guess I better throw it." So he which proves, by the way, again, it's the inconsistency that's been bothering people this year. But Lenore's can do it. But that's, that was a nice pass. That was, and again, to scramble a little bit, find him, and prepare.
Yo, Jay, I said hello.
Yeah, it's just, we were talking about in the opening riff of the show. It's just the idea that, you've seen Sellers, and we all know the second half was a disaster in College Station. We get it. There's a ton of pressure on Sellers, and the offense did nothing. That first half, though, Sellers looked the most comfortable he probably looked all year. Against Coastal, we get it's Coastal, and that defense is not very good, but against Sellers, very comfortable. You know what I like? I mean, obviously, went for a 75-yard touchdown, so you always go, good play. But I like the idea of getting the ball out of Sellers' hands quick, early, let him get a couple of completions, let him get confident, let him get all lathered up. I like the idea of getting the ball out of his hands quick, because last time I checked, the offensive line can't really pass protect very well.
Yeah, no, and that's going to be important next week, because Clemson's got a couple of potential first-rounders on that defense, and it's going to be a very different situation. This, Clemson, I understand, is underachieving relative to expectations, just like the Gamecocks saw my friend Larry Williams, who covers Clemson State. And Larry's been covering this rivalry a long time, just like I have. And it's the first time in a long time where you've maybe got each fan base complaining about themselves and not trying to take shots at the other guy. Almost instead of, boy, your team stinks. No, your team stinks worse. It's more like, our team stinks. Yeah, well, our team stinks worse. So it's that kind of feeling, at least early in the week. By Friday, that'll change. And by Saturday kickoff, it'll be back to where it's supposed to be. But it is an interesting Carolina-Clemson game this year, no doubt. But Clemson poses a lot of defensive challenges for this Gamecock front.
It's funny. Someone said to me the other day, they were like Clemson's at least of our worries as a Gamecock fan. I was like, I'm more worried about the Gamecock. Clemson's whatever. I'm more concerned about my team. That's kind of your expect, right? Both sides. I mean, Clemson, they got their own stuff. They're like, South Carolina, whatever. You're right. By the time we get to the end of the week, everybody's going to get their old-fashioned hate back up on each other. But right now, it's like, rivalry week. Yeah, I just want my team to quit underachieving like they have this year.
Yeah, and I mean that's what everybody wants. And you're not going to really, again, whoever wins this game this weekend feels a lot better about themselves. That's all you're playing for at this point. I mean, a Clemson win, I think Clemson's going to a bowl regardless. But for Carolina, it's just you beat Clemson and you feel better, and then you know what you need to fix. So they've got that, but it's easier said than done to just say go beat Clemson.
Right. And so we'll
happens on Saturday, and you move forward to the offseason. Then we see a new OC. And we also see, remember 2 years ago, Jay, 5-7, and
hardly anyone
left, right?
Well, most of those guys
came back to run it back.
And then obviously you didn't have Spencer Rattler, Juice Holmes, whatever. But most of everybody you kept could come back, and you turned everything around.
It's going to be interesting to see this offseason
if Shane can hold on to most of these guys again, because again, it's the world we live
in. Yeah, and I agree. And I know Shane has discussed that and what he and Jeremiah and Jeff Crane are working on to ensure roster retention, roster accumulation. Again, I don't know how much the NIL part of this relates directly to Lenoris Sellers. I think a lot of this is still going to be what Lenoris hears from the next level. I don't doubt that there will be overtures from others in college football to lure Lenoris away. They may or may not be successful. We've talked about that a bunch, and I know we'll talk more about it here in the coming weeks. But, you'd like to try to keep a lot of these guys. And I was glad to see Cutter Woods get in the other day, have some opportunities. I think there's a lot of people who believe he's got a bright future in South Carolina. So, one day it'll be his job, you think, you believe. But I don't envy a lot of coaches these days when it comes to, as you say, roster retention and what you've got to do there. It is a very different world, at least until Congress comes and saves the day. Oh, wait.
Hey,
fix the highways,
the infrastructure, and education, and
help, the economy. Now we're just kind of worried about, getting this NIL thing taken care of. Thanks. Don't worry about your life. We got to get NIL fixed. Exactly. Hey, my man, I appreciate you. How you doing? You hanging in there okay today? You doing all right?
We're hanging in there, yeah. I threw it out earlier that, tomorrow is a big day, day one of chemotherapy. Had a lot of support from certainly, obviously family first, but close friends, all you guys at work, and, to the family that I've accumulated through the years of doing what I do and interacting with people that have reached out. it really does mean a lot. As my wife is sitting here next to me, it means a lot to her. It means a lot to my daughters. It's gonna be a rough go, man. It's gonna be a rough go. In fact, I was a little late with you because I was on the phone with the folks on my cancer team about exactly what to really expect now that it's here. And but I'm ready. I'm ready. I hope I'm ready enough to be able to keep working with you every day. How that goes, it's uncharted waters for me, but I'm ready, man. And it really does mean a lot to me and my family that so many people have got our back and are thinking of it. So we're gonna get here, get through it, and hopefully I bug the crap out of people on the radio a whole lot the next couple of months while I'm going through this, because that's certainly part of the goal.
Oh, we're looking forward to it. We expect it.
Yeah, me too.
We're all thinking about you, my friend. You hang in there, and we'll be talking to you hopefully tomorrow. If not tomorrow, Wednesday, Friday, whenever you're up to and you feel like it, you got a spot to hang out with us. You know that, right?
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. We'll get there. We'll get there.
All right. We'll talk to you soon, my man. Good luck, okay? Like I said, we're all thinking about you. All right. We'll talk to you later. We'll see you now. It's our buddy Jay Phillips. And we'll be talking to Jay, when Jay can do it this week as he goes through, his treatments now. The chemotherapy starts this week for, the bladder cancer issue that Jay's got. Like I said, we'll get him this week. We'll jump back in here. We continue talking South Carolina football. What happened on Saturday. Some more from Shane. Shane wasn't very happy about the block punt. Let's hear Shane as one thing that really did not go right is in Shane's wheelhouse, and he discussed it. We'll hear from Shane next on Postgame Show live from JT's on Greystone, JT's Kia. Please bring us some non-perishable food items, no matter what it is. It's a little bit, it's a lot, it's in the middle. We don't care. It all goes to a good cause, as it's a week of Beat Clemson, Beat Hunger Awareness Month here in our country is November. We'll pop back here from Shane Beamer next on the Postgame Show on the Game. Yeah, I got it, bud. You're ready.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
You could do it.
I couldn't do it. But you could do it. You probably can, but I couldn't do it. It takes a special, yeah.
All right, guys. I think we're good. I'll come have a stop with you guys over here. Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll try to get your
So where tomorrow? The other JT up the street?
Yeah. So bring these things. All right.
You out here?
Yeah, I think so.
Ready. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I'll come tomorrow. I've got another bag of food. Just want to see what JT's exactly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, Tanner, you want me to pull? You want me to put this in the car?
Huh?
What? You want me to leave this here? No, let's take it. Okay, take it up there tomorrow. Yeah.
Yep.
But it's pretty heavy. It's a lot of cancer. Yeah.
You mean the other station?
Right. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
We'll talk about that in a minute. I've got men's clinic. I got to also put in a couple for later on. I haven't gotten to yet, but they're in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll be good.
So it's where?
Sure, you can if you want.
Okay.
G brand.
Oh, okay.
Hey, how you doing?
Very good. How are you?
Oh, we're doing all right. Abby doing?
I hear your voice all the time, but to see your face in person.
It's quite disappointing, I
It
know.
is,
How you
it
doing?
is. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Good to meet you, too.
Big fan. Listen all the
Man,
time.
well, we appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
Man, you guys are lucky. You got the cookies, got the Oreos. You know.
Yeah, you got the Oreo
That's my
kind.
dinner
I
later.
can't even
Oreos.
have. I look
I'm
at
on-
them, my blood sugar go up.
I'm on a strict Oreo diet, so
Yeah?
I get you guys. Here,
I
you want
like it.
some stickers to take with them? Here you go.
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
No, not at all.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Appreciate
You want one?
There you go.
You want to put it on now or wait till this weekend?
We should wait until this weekend. But we should have more.
Who do you think the new OC is going to be? What's your thoughts?
There's a lot of talk about the guy in Cincinnati, the OC in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
He's got that connection with Elliott.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think it'd be a far stretch to put Furry up there?
I think it's just bad timing for him because, again, if I'm Shane Beamer and I know that next year is, like, really important,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to hand the keys to my career to a guy that's OC 3 games.
Yeah, that's true.
That's because, you know, if, like, for example, if this was, like, different and you didn't already promote Shule and it didn't go well.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, if it gets, like, let's say they score 35 on Clemson and they go for 500 yards.
Yeah.
You got a real thing now, right?
No, yeah,
you
for
really
sure.
do. You got a
then
thing.
you're thinking, all right, Furry might not be too bad. Right?
Exactly. And then I go, I might have to do this. So the Clemson game is going to be very important for Mike Furry.
For sure.
And so it's.
I think he feels that too.
Oh, hell, absolutely. He might not sleep all week.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Let me help you watch your film.
Oh, yeah. Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah, hey, great meeting you. What's your name?
Mike.
Mike, great meeting you, man.
Likewise.
Great meeting you guys. Oh, she's got chocolate chip. I'm so jealous. Have a good one.
Thank you. We go get a rice.
Let me- we haven't gotten into it. No, a day like today, it's like it might be a blurb. The traffic. I guess since we're in a holiday weekend, traffic a little light so far. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. No accidents in the Midlands right now. Just our typical. Road construction's really annoying. I-126 between Eugene and I-26. I-26 between Bush River Road, exit 108A, and Old Sandy Run Road, exit 125. And our typical I-20 between I-26, exit 64, and 65 at Broad River Road. Since we have an affiliate in Charleston, what the heck? Let's give you a little Charleston real quick. I-20 eastbound at South Carolina 329 and I-20 westbound between US 521. Weather right now. This is nice. We're sitting here chilling in November. Sun's out. This is good. Good suntan weather. I would jump back in here from Shane Beamer about that block punt that annoyed him. That's next on a Reaction Monday on the game. No, I'll call for it. I'll call for it. Alex, Reaction Monday on the game. We are live from JT's Kia on Greystone. Please stop by. Appreciate you. Any non-perishable food items we would love to have. If you can stop by, like I said, it doesn't matter. It could be a can. It could be going in the cabinet. We're really not eating it. My kid didn't like raviolis. I thought he would. But they don't buy and drop it off. Oh, I love raviolis. My favorite was beefaroni, though. I was a big beefaroni guy. Raviolis were solid. I love the beefaroni. But anyway, I digress. Feel free. Anything is greatly appreciated as we, again, it's Beat Clemson, Beat Hunger Week, Rivalry Week, like we've been doing the last few years, and also it's Hunger Awareness Month. So please, anything you can do to help us out, we would once again greatly appreciate it. Mike stopped by with the kids, and they had Oreo cookies. Jones for an Oreo cookie. Love me. Milk or not, now. I mean, the milk makes it next level. You get to dip it and make it all like, soft and chewy and everything, but just straight Oreos is good. absolutely stunk.
Let's get a snack machine in there, Gene. Maybe we'll go and get a bunch of Oreos. We're going to break.
You know, in the old days, you could put your hand up in the snack machine and steal from them. I mean, I heard. I would never do that. I mean, I heard you could do that. I said, no, that's illegal. Don't do that. I would never do that. I wouldn't break the law.
I've never broken the law. I've been caught.
But anyway. All right, reaction Monday, 803-460-100. You want to jump in? Your thoughts on the win over Coastal Carolina? We do have a Twitter poll I want to get to. Elijah put this one up. He had a great idea. I got an idea for one. I said, what do you got? And his Twitter poll is very simple of the day. Does the dominant win over Coastal Carolina make you feel much better about the Clemson game this weekend? Yes, very confident, a little bit, or no change in confidence? Right now, no change in confidence, leading the way at 56%. A little bit more confident at 33%. Yes, very confident at 11%. So feel free to vote on that. You can just go to our Twitter X at 1075 game. If I was doing this, maybe a little bit. Just the idea you saw the offense do some things. I wouldn't be like, "Ooh, this really changed my confidence level," because look, we've said it at least 124 times on the show already today. We get it. Coastal Carolina's defense atrocious. It's not good. It's just not a good defense. Again, 121st in the country in defensive efficiency. That's not good. That's near the bottom of college of FBS. So no one, it's not like you went up against the 85 Bears and hung a 50. Clemson's defense, much better than Coastal Carolina. Again, Clemson's got some dudes on defense that they're going to hear their name called for the NFL draft. It's a defense that, and you hear folks talk about it in the upstate who cover the team and fans, and it's been kind of a head scratcher. You bring in a fancy new defensive coordinator, you pay him a lot of money because he's got a heck of a resume, and the defense just wasn't what a lot of folks, the offense either. It just didn't work this year for a good period of time early in the season for Clemson. But Clemson's got dudes on defense, and so we'll see how this offense, how they perform against a much better defense than they went up against on Saturday. But to see the offense do what it did in any way, shape, or form, you haven't seen any of that except for the first half against A&M. You go, all right. Now I see how talented some of these dudes are. Okay, all right. So I would be a little bit more confident, but I wouldn't go overboard because again, Coastal Carolina's defense, one of the worst in college football. And remember, in that game, not that it was going to change anything. So I think the way South Carolina came out and they played, and they smacked them in the head, and they got that big lead. Coastal was missing their starting quarterback, who had been the key cog in a 4-game win streak. But South Carolina, offensively, the way they came out and did some things that, again, a lot of people have been screaming about doing. And it was successful, and all of a sudden you drop 51 on somebody. It does make you feel good. We say this all the time. Confidence, whenever you go out and have a good game or a good day, you just feel good about yourself having the good day. You don't go, yeah, but the person I played stunk. No, you go, man, I had a good day. Now I'm going to take it forward, and I'm going to keep having good days against whoever shows up. That's what confidence does for you. And pretty much everybody walked off that field feeling pretty good, except the special teams unit. We had a block punt. Shane Beamer was not happy. So he points Coastal got it. 51-7 loss to South Carolina. Here is Shane, cut 18. Kale talking about the block.
Just for some reason decided not to block somebody. I wish I had a better answer for you. It was a look that we worked in practice Wednesday and Thursday in practice. A couple older guys that just didn't execute. So I wish I had a better answer for you. But when they don't execute, that goes back on us as coaches that in that moment we didn't execute, and we got to be better.
I see that.
Yeah, you can tell the aggravation in Shane's voice because a couple of veteran guys didn't block. Very simple. Very easy, very simple. You get the block punt, and that's the only score Coastal got in a 51-7 loss to South Carolina. And yeah, look, That's obviously going to aggravate a coach who has made his bones partly with special teams and beaver ball and things of that nature. But all in all, you got to walk away saying that was needed that one. You know, both sides of the ball. Sean Murphy had a really good game at linebacker. He has played well as the season has gone on. Struggled early on, but I seem to have got his footing a bit better through the last few weeks. J.O. has been good at linebacker. My guy Fred Johnson, seemed like he's kind of stagnated a bit, but he's got a ton of ability and high ceiling. The linebacking room, you feel good about going into next year if you keep everybody together. It would be a year of experience with the athleticism these guys have. You would think next year will be positive. And, yeah, you have to fill some pieces in up front. You're hoping you have Dylan Stewart coming back for a third year. You know, you're hoping that some of these other younger defensive linemen, edge guys, and interior can develop and be ready to help you. If not, you got the portal to go to. And so, look, this year I thought Nick Barrett has been solid. Brownlow Dindy has been solid, if not better than solid, both of them at times. I think, again, this defense has been good. The special teams, I mean, you have the block punt sack. The special teams, for the most part, has been good. It's just this offense has really held it. And we'll see where it goes moving forward. All right. We can't really do Jay or Nay because, well, we don't have Jay to do Jay or Nay. What we will do is we'll continue on looking at what happened on Saturday with South Carolina. The Gamecocks did the tush push. What's up with that? We'll hear from Shane Beamer about it next here on the Postgame Show, live from JT's on Greystone, JT's Kia. Please, non-perishable food items be everything you bring by. We would love for you to help us out. It's Beat Clemson, Beat Hunger Week, and it is Hunger Awareness Month, so anything you have, non-perishable food items, we appreciate anything you have. All right, we'll pop back in here. The tush push by South Carolina on Saturday. Let's hear about it next during the Postgame Show on the Game. All righty, Kale. It's going to be cut 20. And then I might call for 21 after 20. No, I'll call 20 and 23, Kale, in this break. 20 and 23. Thank you, bud. Thank you, bud. I'll have you ask you to send me another picture of has the traffic changed? Is there any accidents, death, carnage, anything good? Construction. That's good. You don't have to worry about sending me anything. It's cool. No, dude, I can't wait to do them. Yeah, we just do it because it's sponsored. Believe me. We try to work on even stop doing it in the afternoon if we can for the other stations. Yeah. Well, they barely beat a terrible team. It was 2 weeks in a row. They barely won against crappy teams. But hey, wins are wins, man. That's what matters. Wins are they're tied with the Steelers now in the AFC North. Because B's ahead of P. Now, yeah, they're technically in first place right now, which is hilarious. Started 1-5. Yeah, they're still. I don't have a whole lot of hope or faith they're going to do any damage in the postseason unless they get better. Something's off. Yeah, Niners are kind of beaten up, man. Panthers might have a shot tonight. But you know what, though? Your Panthers, after what happened last week and Bryce throws for like almost 500, this week will throw for $150. You think you start playing well to go with old Rico running the football and that defense can hold itself together? They might sneak and win that division. Yeah, that's fair. I can't help you with that one because it does make no sense. It's even worse. When Saints fans can talk crap with you, that's never good. Yeah. It's a reaction Monday. We're live at JT's Kia at Greystone as we are going through our rivalry week tradition the last few years. Beat Clemson, beat Hunger. It's Hunger Awareness Month. So any non-perishable food items you have, please bring them by. No matter what it is, we'll gladly accept it. Especially this year, folks, even more than other years. Need some help. So if you can help out, we will thank you very much for doing that. After Reaction Monday, 803-404-6100, South Carolina, obviously an easy time with the boat race of Coastal on Saturday, 51-7. We've talked about it a ton, on and off. One very interesting thing that happened is South Carolina's version of the tush push, which, again, look, until it's illegal, I got no problem with it. It's a legal play. Whether you like it or not, it's legal. If you want to get rid of it, like in the NFL, they've been talking about trying to put a rule banning it. Ban it. That's fine. Back in the older days, when I had hair, you couldn't assist a runner. Fellow offensive players couldn't push a runner up the field. But then they changed the rule, and all the Eagles are doing, and other teams now, is taking advantage of the rule. And South Carolina had their version of it on Saturday with Brady Hunt. And let's get cut 20 here real quick, Cale. Shane Bieber talking about Brady Hunt and whatever South Carolina's version of the tush push.
Not sure if I'm allowed to tell you that it's not the tush push, but for the record, the punt that we tried to block against them, we did call that tush push tonight because we had somebody that was literally behind Bo Brown trying to push him through the shield. So that was a tush push. So it's one of those that I can tell you, but I'd have to kill you type thing because we ran it a lot tonight. I think we ran it like 3 times, and we may try it again next week too.
I mean, look, I got no problem with that play. I really don't. Some people go crazy and say every time it's run, oh my God, well, then put a rule in stop. Very simple. It's not against the rules. The only reason people don't like when the Eagles do it because it's so successful. If it wasn't successful, nobody would care. And, again, South Carolina has struggled so much in short yardage this year. And one of the reasons, and we've had this conversation, was that, you got 16 back there and you haven't been using him enough in short yardage. Running that inside zone. We have other names for it, some folks, because it's been not very successful all season. So, to me, again, I think it's simple. It's 3rd and 1. What
What
Lenore
Lenore
Sellers?
Sellers run?
It's 4th and 1.
4th and 1. What Lenore Sellers run?
But the other team will know, Terry. So,
Well,
stop it.
stop it.
Because I think my guy can beat your guy.
your guy.
Like we've
Like
talked
we've
about, mine would say
talked
mine will
about
beat
mine will
yours.
beat urine.
Very simple.
Very simple.
But if you're not going to run Sellers, push your brains out, or whatever you want to call it, here in South Carolina. Also, here's Shane talking about Brady Hunt under center. Let's get cut 23 in here real quick, Kale. Shane talking about Brady Hunt taking snaps.
I wouldn't say most experienced, but he was a high school quarterback. He's smart. He's a really good football player. He is, he makes all the calls on our punt team and can handle things on the punt team for sure. He's just a smart, heady guy. If you guys remember last year against Kentucky, we had a 4th and 1 where we put him under center against Kentucky. It was about the 45-yard line over on the right hash near our bench, and we had him under center, and I think they jumped off sides on the play, maybe Kentucky did or something like that. But it wasn't the first time we've had him like in an under center position. So I think it's more just high school quarterback, smart, tough, good football player, great athlete.
So there you go. Some of the reasons why Brady Hunt was behind center on those occasions on Saturday. As South Carolina used whatever they want to call it. Kind of had that pushy look to it. But that short yardage, the short yardage package they put in. And Brady Hunt got a touchdown out of it. They used it a few times in the game. So when you see it against Clemson, look, the other thing about using it against Coastal is now it's on tape, right? And you put things on tape to make another team compare. You heard Shane say, we might use it against Clemson, or we might use it next week. And so you put it in everybody's mind, look, we might bust that play back out. We'll see if it'll work. So, again, I am all for anything that's going to get you a first down on 3rd or 4th and short. Anything. Doesn't matter. So, we'll see moving forward if South Carolina actually uses that play. All right, 5 o'clock news is coming up from our Buds Integrated Media as we roll live here from JT's Kia on Greystone. We'll look at some of the other things that happened over the weekend with Carolina women's and men's basketball. Women won. Men lost a tough one to Northwestern. We'll get into that in the 5 o'clock news. Dan Lanning takes a shot at the SEC. I thought was kind of interesting. And we got some NFL as well. It's all coming up in the 5 o'clock news, sponsored by Integrated Media. That's next here on the Postgame Show live from JT's Kia on Greystone until 6 right here on the game. Yeah, what's even more interesting is 13 SEC teams have a tougher strength of schedule than Oregon. Yeah, take your shot. One time you get your shot.
I missed it this morning. So wait a minute. So she's never done that with radio? But she had experience with this one. How do you feel about this? I don't understand how you put somebody in that position. So what does CAS use? Oh, that came from that. All that came from it. I thought nothing was sold. That's it. Well, I mean, well, you. Wow. Hey, Josh, you got Clemson tickets. You got Clemson tickets. We got about 150. We got a pair for the winner, right? Okay. All right. Freak. I missed the post where Michelle got promoted to the list.
Oh yeah. Tammy told me that. I thought it was the old post.
Oh, okay. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, still just a lot of construction to kind of maneuver yourself around the usual stuff. We got I-20 and 26 right there at exit 64 Broad River Road. Also I-26 between Bush River Road and Old Sandy Run Road. That's exits 108A and 125. And of course, I-126 between Hugie and I-26 as well. So another typical, but no accidents. It's a good day on the roads. Unfortunately, you got to worry about some road construction. And right now we're sitting looking at 70 degrees. It's nice. Just hanging out here in November outside here at JT's. The low overnight is drop down in the low 50s. And then we get another nice day tomorrow. Weather for November, thumbs up. We'll come back, get the 5 o'clock news going from Integrated Media in our final hour of the Postgame Show and Reaction Monday. We're live from JT's Keel in Greystone. Non-perishable food items. If you have some, bring them by, please. Hey, buddy. You're doing a good job, pal. Keep going. Good deal. If I had more hours, you'd get more. We'll figure it out. Maybe we can get you some stuff also to help us out with the digital. Way too much. 5 o'clock news, sponsored by our buds, Integrated Media. We'll start off. Obviously, we've talked a lot about the South Carolina victory over Coastal over the weekend, 51-7. Nick Harbor and Dylan Stewart did not play in this football game. And get to cut 13 here, Kale. Postgame, Shane Beamer talked about the status of his wide receiver and his edge pass rusher. Again, not just for the Coastal game, but moving forward for the game against Clemson on Saturday. Hit it, Kale.
Nick and Dylan should be good for next week, David. Nick was not able to go tonight, not totally cleared. He ran the other day and ran fast the other day, so we're hopeful that he'll be fine for next Saturday. Dylan kind of had something aggravated him that was the question mark before the Ole Miss game when we had him questionable in the injury report the Friday night before the game. He practiced in a limited role this week, but just didn't feel quite able to go, but I think he'll be fine for Saturday.
So there you go. You feel, all right, Dylan Stewart and Nick Harbor for Saturday against Clemson. And look, playing Coastal, you feel like, I mean, not 51-7, but you feel good holding out Harbor and Stewart. If they weren't 100%, you still had enough ammo to be able to take out Coastal Carolina. And only 151-7. But at the end of the day, you get Harbor and Stewart healthy and closer to 100%, as close as they can be this time of year for the game against Clemson. All right, and we'll get back to the Gamecock football victory over Coastal coming up in the Gamecock notebook. Moving over to men's basketball, that was a tough one, man. 79-77, South Carolina loses to Northwestern. Came back from double digits, down like 12 with inside 5 minutes left. Mike Sharver-Jams hit a three to cut it to single digits at 74-66, and then Michi Johnson went all Michi, good Michi, scored 7 straight. All of a sudden, it was a 2-point game. Gamecocks tied on a couple of Elijah Strong free throws. And then tied it again. Mike Sharver-Jams with a couple of free throws. But then Northwestern gets the layup with 2 seconds left to get the victory. Wildcats called the timeout. And then Page gets the layup. And South Carolina loses by a deuce almost at the gun. So here's Lamont Paris post game. Hey, Jeannie. Jeannie! Hey, Jeannie! Jeannie! Yeah, go to break right now. Think about it. All right. Just lost. We just lost power in the middle of the break. All right. Tell me when. What is it? Here it is. Not. Okay. I'll reconnect. She'll hopefully just come back. Just get battery just in case. Hey, Jeannie, did you go 3 or 6? Okay. It's okay, but back. Hey, Kale. Hey, buddy, we're in access 6. Okay? All right, thanks, pal. All right. We're good. We're back. All right, Kale, can you hear me? We're good? We're good? Kale. Kale. You need a jacket? Nothing. Appreciate it, though. Kale.
Where was I? Oh, we were talking about Gamecock basketball. That's where I was at. Terry Ford, Kale back at the studios, making sure all the buttons are pushed correctly as we roll till 6 o'clock here on a Reaction Monday, live from JT's Kia on Greystone. Again, looking for non-perishable food items. Please feel free, if you got some time, to drop off something for us. We're here till 6 here on the game. We're back tomorrow, too. So if you can't make it today, please feel free to drop by again tomorrow with some non-perishable food items as well. All right, so Gamecock Notebook, we'll just continue our conversation about South Carolina men's basketball. It was a tough loss to Northwestern. Look, in the Butler game, one of the things you saw was South Carolina, was just crushed in the glass by Butler. Butler was scoring in the paint at will at times. The interior defense for South Carolina, either, not physical enough or not being able to move their feet quick enough. Whatever the case was, Butler had their way on the glass and in the paint.
Against Northwestern, that wasn't as bad a deal. South Carolina out-rebounded the Wildcats 31-26.
Pulled 13 offensive rebounds compared to only 5 for Northwestern. So the rebounding issue that they had against Butler, the Gamecocks, did not have it against Northwestern. Again, Northwestern had a double-digit lead. South Carolina came back. One thing about this game is the Gamecocks, 34 of their 61 shots from three. We've seen them shoot a ton of threes this year, and it's the way it's been going. But again, only 29% from three. South Carolina inside the three-point line, obviously much better. But again, when you're taking almost half your shots from three and you're only making 29%, that could lead to some clunky offense. Northwestern in the basketball game only took 14 threes, made 7 of them. Max Green came off the bench and really hurt South Carolina, scoring 13 in 11 minutes to Max Green. Good three-point shooter, but Max Green over a point a minute, that's something if you're Lamont Paris, you're like, didn't see that coming. But Nick Martinelli led the way for Northwestern, scoring 25 on 17 shots, got to the line 8 times, also pulled 7 boards. Again, South Carolina having trouble with the opposition's really best interior score. So that's something that's got to get fixed in some way, shape, or form. And if you're Lamont Paris, what direction are you going to go with this? How are you going to handle if you can't if defensively you're going to have some issues, and you might have someone on the perimeter as well, how are you going to handle it? What kind of strategy you going to put in place? Use your guys get better defensively and just continue to play mostly man. Here's Lamont Paris. Let's get a cut here, Kale. Paris, let's get cut 38. Talking about consistency for his basketball team. Again, cut 38.
Yeah, I think he was probably due. I mean, his percentage obviously hasn't been great, but he's a good shooter. He can make catch and shoot threes, and he shot 36% from the 3-point line last year. So it was nice to see that. That's what, at the end of the day, you have to take away the things. You have to think big picture, and certainly in the small picture, you want to win. You want to win badly, but in the big picture, in the grand scheme of things, I think you do have to take away what you get. Okay, so here's another game Elijah plays well. There's a game JB starts and does a good job. There's some good things, physicality and rebounding. We won the rebounding battle against these guys, which was a far cry from what we did, 48 hours ago. So how to make that be consistent regardless of the opponent that you're going against is really what the challenge is, and that's what we're continuing to try to work on.
All right, so again, consistency around for South Carolina. I mean, Michi Johnson went 3 of 11 from 3, 6 of 17 from the floor. I mean, Michi, he heated up and got on a little bit of a streak there, scored 7 straight to make it a 2-point game. But Michi, overall, it was a tough shooting night, 6 of 17, again, 3 of 11 from 3. Overall, Elijah Strong, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. And Grant Polk, again, the freshman, getting 2 of 5 from 3. But all in all, besides those two guys, there's a lot of struggle from the 3-point line in this basketball game for South Carolina. Strong led the way with 16 off the pine for the Gamecocks. Going back to the Butler game real quick, here's Coach Paris talking about getting their butt kicked basically by Butler in that first game of this little 2-game set at Greenbrier. Cut 39.
I think they kicked our rear ends physically, which hopefully will be good for us and incite some changes in mindset, which will incite some changes in what we're doing physically, which hopefully will lead to some different results in physical plays. You write stuff up on the board before the game, you're going to concentrate on this, or, and then you don't do that well at all in the game. So what's in words? What's in a phrase that I write on a board, or what's in an inspirational pregame speech to come out and just not compete physically. And so I thought that was really the game. I mean, we didn't play great as far as shooting. The numbers would suggest that. Probably one of our worst offensive performances. Not taking any credit away from them, but also had some shots, especially in the second half, that guys can make and generally have made. But holy smokes, man, you're just not going to win many games. Maybe it's a lesson we need to learn right now. Try to win many games if, from a competitive standpoint, you don't have it within you to ratchet things up when that's caution.
Look, I mean, in that Butler game, Lamont nailed it. They just physically got the butt kicked by a Butler squad who just came at them. And South Carolina couldn't handle the physicality. They handled it much better. Northwestern's not as physical as Butler. But again, Nick Martinelli, Northwestern's leading scorer. Out of 17 shots, only 3 were in the, at the 3-point line. So once again, South Carolina had difficulty guarding the other team's best interior scorer. That's something that's got to change. And Lamont, is it you just stay man and maybe different combinations, maybe play guys more minutes who are better defensively, some other guys less. You start changing up what you do defensively, scheme-wise. But one thing that was interesting is Jordan Butler got the start. Miles Studi has, a concussion protocol, and Jordan Butler jumped into the starting lineup. Here is Lamont talking about Jordan Butler moving in with the starting 5. That will be cut number 37.
Thought he was good, especially in the first half. He did some good things defensively at times. he's growing as a player. I think he showed a little more defensive physicality against a team like this that plays in a pretty physical league and is probably one of the more physical teams in the league. But so I thought he did a good job. I thought JB did a good job. His minutes are almost always tied to how aggressive and how tough he's being. And if he does those things, he's usually going to play for us and get some results. But sometimes it's hard to be consistent as a young person. But this was a good effort by him.
Jordan Butler, there's ability there. I mean, first of all, he's a big guy who likes to shoot threes, and you like him to be more physical. Give him more ruggedness in the paint, if I could say the word right. And he's getting there. Baby steps. He's getting there. Like he was pulled out 6 rebounds, 3 were offensive in the game against Northwestern. But Butler is kind of like, he's a modern finesse type of big. He's got height, but he plays out on the perimeter. He's more comfortable on the perimeter. And, Coach Paris is trying to get him to, also contribute inside the paint. If you can get Butler to start doing those things more consistently, and like Lamont said, he gets more minutes. But he did get 23 minutes in the loss to Northwestern. And we'll see how South Carolina handles some of these issues moving forward. It's good. Look, Lamont said this, and I do agree. If you're going, it's good early to play these kind of games to find out your issues. If you get to the SEC and you start playing some really physical teams, athletic and physical teams, and you got if you want to win games in the Southeastern Conference, you're going to have to be able to deal with the physicality and the athleticism. South Carolina, again, when the 3-point shots falling, they're an interesting basketball team. They move the ball well. They've got 17 assists on 28 made baskets again against Northwestern. So they do move the ball well. And they make extra passes. They get people involved. So that part's good. You just got to make the shots. And the defensive end of the court's going to be huge for this team. Can you defend the opposition? Can you rebound? Can you be physical in the defensive end of the court? That's going to be huge. So for the men, it wasn't a good weekend, going 0 for 2 on Friday and Sunday. The women, though, wow, 121-49 over Queens. That's a record for a Dawn Staley squad. Joyce Edwards had 25, 9 of 11 from the floor, 7 of 9 from the line. Medina Okada, another double-double, 14 and 12. Also, Latson contributed 24 in 28 minutes, 9 of 11 from the floor. Latson's been fired. Tessa Johnson contributed 35 starters, double figures. Ray Johnson also another good 4 games, 7 assists, and 3 steals with blocks for Raven. The bench contributed 30. I'm going to do my math. 33 points. The bench popped in. South Carolina shot 66% from the floor against an overmatched Queens squad. 40% from 3, got to the line 34 times, made 79%. Just one of those days. 26 assists on 43 made baskets. We'll go on and on with these stats because it was crazy. Dawn Staley postgame. Here is Dawn. First of all, we'll start with cut 36, Cale. Dawn talking about how this team this year plays compared to her past squads. Again, cut 36, Cale.
I don't think we had a choice in letting them go. Like, I think this is the way they're most comfortable playing. And for the teams that we had previously, we've actually wanted to play at this pace, but it's just not them. So we kind of just allow them to flow and take identity to what they do best. And, would I like to play faster with us? Yes, of course. Would I've liked to play slower with this group? No. Until we're able to run it a little bit smoother, and we know where people are going to be on the floor. If we decide to drive, we decide to go inside, we aren't familiar yet. But we are familiar when it's time to get out in transition and share the basketball and hopefully see what's available to them. Just be aware of, where your outlet spots are.
If you look at Bart Torvik is sort of like a Ken Palm, same type of analytics site, and does the same analytics for the women's game as the men. Right now, South Carolina is number 1 in the country in Bart Torvik. The number 2 offensive team and number 1 defensive team right now. Offensively, they're top 7, top 3 defensively. They're just the numbers are just filthy across the board for South Carolina right now, early in the season. But they are playing at a high level at both ends of the court. Probably Dawn will tell you defensively, I want to take up even another level. But if you just look at the deep dive numbers right now, South Carolina number 1 in the country, number 2 on offense, and number 1 on defense. And here's Dawn. Let's get one more. Let's get another cut in here from Dawn Staley. What she likes about her team through 6 games. Cut 35, Cap.
I mean, we can score. I like the fact that we can score, and we can score in a lot of different ways, just from inside, outside. I like some of the things that we're doing defensively, just having multiple efforts and getting loose balls, 50-50 balls, just being a lot more aggressive and trusting of their teammates that are playing behind the ball.
Yeah, they
Medina's coming along. Like,
it's
she's
interesting.
making great progress on both sides of the basketball.
It's like
I'm
it's interesting. Some of the things.
Looking forward to another test.
Some of the stuff about Dawn here makes me laugh. All right, so that is Coach Staley talking about her basketball team, which likes, and they can score. Absolutely, this team has got look. Latson, the nation's leading scorer coming here. She obviously can make buckets, and she's getting herself more ingrained in the offense and how to get hers. And no, she doesn't have to get all of it. She dished 5 assists in the win over Queens and against Queens, obviously overmatched by South Carolina. But Latson was really good, 5 assists. Raven had 7. Again, this basketball team shares the ball really well. Also, Tessa Johnson had 5 assists to go with her 13 points. And Tessa was very efficient. 13 points and only 8 shots, 3 of 5 from 3. So, offensively, this team is good. And like Dawn said, they can score in a variety of ways. They were 40% from 3. We'll see where it goes moving forward. But, you lost a couple of pieces of front court depth with injuries. But this team is still plenty talented as it moves forward.
We just saw it.
All right, Gamecock Notebook, an extended version of the Gamecock Notebook, kind of getting caught up from earlier. We had a little technical. But we'll jump back here, a drive around the SEC. Dan Lanning and Brent Venables in the news. I know Dan Lanning doesn't have a team, Oregon, in the SEC. But Dan Lanning had something to say about the SEC on Saturday. And, of course, Brent Venables with a nice win over Missouri for Oklahoma as the Sooners inch closer to a possible college football playoff. We got that coming up next. We're hanging out here live at JT's Kia on Greystone. If you have any non-perishable items, please feel free to drop them off. We would appreciate it. Beat Clemson, beat Hunger Awareness Month in our country. So anything you can do to help out the folks who really need it, we greatly appreciate it. We'll come back here, take a drive around the SEC next on the Postgame Show with Terry Ford. Jeannie's here. Kale's back in the studio. We go to 6 here on the game. Take a look at the traffic. Come here, buddy, see if we got anything. You're the man. Good work. (803-875-MENS) is the men's clinic in South Carolina. And look, we talk about this all the time. You're a guy, you're getting older. It's just things aren't the way they used to be. You could be, it's a lack of sleep, a lack of drive in life. You're on the depressed side and the way things are going for you. You could be not as strong at the gym. You don't bounce back from workouts like you used to. You can't sleep. You can't remember stuff, whatever it could be. It could be a variety of things. It could be low testosterone. It could be other issues. One way to find out. Make that call, 803-875-MENS. Set up a free confidential consultation with Dr. Dan and the staff. Tell them your story, and they will go to work to help you getting back to being you again. It's that simple. 803-875-MENS. You got nothing to lose. It's free. Make that call going over. See if the men's clinic in South Carolina can help you get back to being you again. The men's clinic. Alrighty. That's right. Look what they did for me. They changed my life. No. I just made that up. All right. No, they don't. I can believe they can think it changed my life. What the heck? All right, I got your traffic. Thanks, dude. Exactly. It's the only reason I talk about it. That's right. Nothing can help you.
I will go ahead and send day off.
It's hopeless. It's over.
Oh, man.
If you're a guy and your days are behind you. You having a rough time? Well, it ain't gonna get any better. I know. All right, again, no accidents to talk about this afternoon, which is always a good thing. We do have the typical construction. I-126 between Hugie and I-26. Also I-26 between Bush River Road and Old Sandy Run Road. And I-20 between I-26 on exit 64 and 65, like always at Broad River Road. I mean, we could even tell you about a couple of construction issues with their affiliate in Charleston. I-26 eastbound between South Carolina 202 and the Lexington Newberry County line. Also I-20 eastbound at South Carolina 329, Dr. Humphreys Road, exit 1. A little more in Charleston. I-20 westbound between US 521, exit 98, if you are listening on our affiliate in Charleston. We'll get back in here. Drive Around the SEC is next on the Postgame Show. All right, time for our drive around the SEC here on the Postgame Show. Terry Ford, appreciate you hanging with us. We are broadcasting live from JT's Kia in Princeton.
Yeah, just in the cupboard. You want to get rid of them, bring them by. Help folks who need your assistance. It's one of the words also beat Clemson, beat Hunger.
And Robbie starts to heat up. Saturday, 7 o'clock, we get our pregame going. Gamecocks Game Day Live from Face Corner, noon kick. South Carolina Clemson to wrap up the 2025 season. All right, drive around the SEC. Obviously, a lot of cupcakes on Saturday. You know, and the typical Georgia whooped Charlotte, Texas A&M snacked around Sanford, Alabama scored over half 100 on Eastern Illinois. We know what South Carolina did to Coastal. Auburn put up over 60. Deuce Knight went crazy, the freshman quarterback for Auburn. I mean, Deuce Knight had 2 touchdown throws, 4 touchdown runs, 239 yards passing, 162 yards rushing on 9 carries. And look, Deuce Knight has a ton of talent and ability. He does. I think originally had dribbled at Notre Dame before he ended up at Auburn. But it's a game against Mercer. And there's a lot of people saying because Deuce Knight is so good against Mercer, he's one of the reasons why right now the line for the Auburn-Alabama game is so close. Like 2.5 points, depending on where you're looking. Bama on the Plains. And what happened was, again, look, everything is always fluid. The reason Deuce Knight played is, they were Daniels out the other quarterback who transferred from Stanford like 10 years ago. And Daniels was sitting out, and they wanted to sit him out to preserve his red shirt. So the plan was to play Daniels against Alabama. Now, Deuce Knight was so good against Mercer, maybe you're changing some things up. But I just thought it was funny. We see what Deuce Knight did against Mercer. And again, nothing against Knight. Well, I need some Mercer. So we'll see what happens as Auburn goes Bama. Look, Bama's got to win, man. Bama's got to beat Auburn. And then here's the other part. If you lost Alabama, and let's say Texas A&M beats Texas, and you got to play A&M in the SEC championship game. If you lose that game and become a 3-loss squad, it's going to be interesting to see how the College Football Playoff Committee looks at you. Are they going to penalize you for the third loss in a conference championship game, the SEC conference championship? I mean, Alabama's resume is really good. Yeah, they have 2 losses, and they could have 3 if they lose the SEC championship game. And again, if they get past Auburn, stuff happens on the Plains. But there's another interesting rumor flying. And I heard this one last night as I was driving. If Alabama doesn't make the playoffs, there is smoke that Kalen DeBoer could leave Tuscaloosa and take over the head coaching gig at Penn State. Again, I mean, you missed the playoffs 2 straight years at Bama after what Nick did before you. Your seat's not hot. You don't have a seat because it burned to the ground. It's just reality. I mean, is it crazy reality? You can call it what you want, but when you're following arguably the greatest college football coach of all time, missing the playoffs 2 straight years, it's not a good start. And maybe DeBoer might go, I got to get out of here. Because if you go to Penn State, last time I checked, James Franklin didn't win a national championship. James Franklin was 4 and 7,000 against top 10 teams. So it's not like you're replacing a legend in State College. And maybe for Kalen DeBoer, that might be a good idea, especially if you do miss the college football playoffs. But Alabama, you beat Auburn, then you go to the SEC championship games, and you lost SEC representative in that game. Even if you lose, we might see a 3-loss Bama get one of the final spots. We'll find out how everything plays itself out. Because Bama's resume, you look at their wins, pretty good. But if you lose to Auburn, they'll probably knock you out. So we'll see. That was an interesting rumor that I was hearing last night. All right, go piece of sound real quick, Kale. Oklahoma beats Missouri. Oklahoma is becoming the master of the slobber knocker in the SEC. Sooners D has been just ridiculous. Oklahoma beats Missouri 17-6. They get another defensive score on a pick 6. Here is Brent Venables, the head coach of the Sooners, talking about how proud he is of his squad after the win over Missouri. That will be cut 41, Cal.
Want to play this game at a high level and you want to be successful and somebody that has value, then man, you're laying on the line at 70, 75, 80%. And that's the reality. So we can't have a bunch of race cars around here, Lamborghinis, that everything's got to be just right and have the premium fuel and the lug nuts and all those got to be just right. This is football. And I just have a great appreciation for our team that share that, vision and philosophy.
I like that. I like Chevettes. That's what I like. Yes. Yeah. Good old Mercury Sable. Yeah, the Pinto. I like those. Forget those Lamborghinis, baby. Give me that Pinto. If you hit in the back, it explodes. That's what I want. I was Brent Venables, he's defensive coach. He plays to his defense. The Oklahoma D has been ridiculous this year. It's carried this team. John Mateer, since he came back from the injury, the Sooner quarterback has not been the same player. And Oklahoma's offense has not been a whole lot. I mean, they've been getting complimentary football in all phases. The offense does just enough. Better than it was last year. They've got some special teams plays. Their defense, again, has been carrying them. And if they beat LSU at home next Saturday, which they should, they'll be 10-2, and there's a really good chance of being in the college football playoff. As soon as I think they'll be in, in fact, they go 10-2. Isn't it ironic? You're better off going 10-2 and not making the SEC championship game and losing to Texas A&M than you would be 10-2 going to play the SEC championship game against Texas A&M. Conceivably, depending on how the season plays itself out. Vanderbilt put themselves in a position by thumping Kentucky 45-17. Look, I have become a huge Diego Pavia guy. Again, Pavia, 33 of 39, 484 yards, 12.5 yards an attempt, 5 touchdowns, and just some weird interception. It was the end of the half, end of the game. But Pavia the last 3 weeks has thrown for like 1,400 yards or whatever. To me, it's Diego Pavia, Mendoza at Indiana, the quarterback, or Jeremiah Love at Notre Dame, the running back. That's the three finalists for the Heisman. And I don't think anyone affects the success of their team the way Diego Pavia affects the success of Vanderbilt. I mean, to me, I'm giving my Heisman vote to Pavia if I have to. But again, another big performance by Diego Pavia. And look, if Vanderbilt can beat Tennessee in Knoxville next Saturday, Vandy's 10-2. So if Oklahoma wins, they're 10-2. Alabama wins, they're 10-2. Vandy wins, they're 10-2. Everybody's 10-2. It's gonna be fun to watch the college football playoff rankings after next week. I'm just saying, could be fun. So the SEC, like usual, ton of teams in the top 12. We'll see how this thing shakes itself out. All right, Dan Lanning in Oregon won. They beat Southern Cal. And again, it wasn't as close as a lot of people thought it was going to be. Oregon, at home, handled their business. It feels like Oregon now will roll themselves into the college football playoff after that W. Here's Dan Lanning, cut 40. Couldn't help but take a shot at the SEC.
Well, we just played a really good team. We beat them. And a lot of times we play really good teams that become unranked all of a sudden. That's not our fault, right? Maybe it is our fault. But all we're worried about is playing the teams that we play and doing the job that we need to do. And we did that job today, right? I think proof's in the pudding, right? We played a good team. We beat them, right? All we can do next week is try to do the same thing, right? And this conference is a really good conference. It's competitive, right? We didn't play Chattanooga State today, right? Like some other places, right? We competed. So, you know, that being said, it's tough playing 9 conference games. It's tough playing in this league. And we got to take advantage of playing a good team today and attacking that.
You know, I love when the other conferences take a shot at the cupcake week in the SEC because they act like they never play a cupcake. Nobody in the Big Ten plays a cupcake. No, like for example, Indiana, who's undefeated, and look, Indiana deserves their spot in the college football playoff. Look at the rugged non-conference Indiana played. Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, Indiana State. Wow, that's murderer's row. Absolutely murderer's row. Now, Ohio State played Texas. I give them credit, but then they followed up with Grambling in Ohio. Just saying. I mean, it's just, look, everybody's got some of that. But here's the thing that kills me. Oregon, they played Montana State. Oklahoma State won one more game than me, I believe. But if you look at Oregon, 13 SEC teams have a stronger strength of schedule than Oregon. 13. Only 3 don't, and it's Ole Miss. Vandy's a little bit behind, like 2 spots behind Oregon and then Tennessee. Tennessee, I think, has the worst strength of schedule in the SEC. But all these teams are like top 40 in strength of schedule. No SEC team is worse than that. So, Dan, you can take a shot at this, you know, a cupcake Saturday in the SEC, but you know what? 13 teams in the SEC have a tougher schedule than you. So, told him. Absolutely. So, again, you know, the Big Ten and other conferences will take their shot at this
at
week.
the-
And I hope this goes away in the SEC. And I think it will. Just the way this conference is moving forward with the scheduling, you're adding your 9th game and things of that nature. And I understand why this was done years ago, but again, this is something the SEC has to move away from. It's just a bad look, especially now. You're late in the season. College football playoff polls are coming out. You want to position yourself to be able to get as many teams as possible in the CFP, especially when it expands to 16, which it will.
Yeah.
You want to get away from cupcake. You really do. That's something. All right, let's drive around the SEC. We will pop back in here. Go back to Shane Beamer, some of Coach's thoughts from the victory over Coastal Carolina. Shane will kind of get into how proud he is of the fans and the students for the most part, loading up Williams-Brice on Saturday. That's coming up next here on the Postgame Show. Kale's back punching the buttons. Jeannie's here helping us out as we broadcast live from JT's Kia on Greystone. If you have any non-perishable food items, please bring them by to help us. It's Beat Hunger, Beat Clemson Week. It's also Hunger Awareness Month. So any help, we would greatly appreciate it. We'll come back here from Shane Beamer for a couple more times before we wrap it up. Postgame Show on the game.
That battery's going low, so I think we're going to switch. It's going low.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's switch.
What do you want, 3 there?
Yeah. I'm waiting for you to disconnect.
Okay. Hey, Kale? Kale? Yeah, I tried to, like I said, Kale, like 3 or 4 times. I'll just call you. All right, we're going to switch to Access 3. So we're going to go to 3 for the final segment, okay? All right, cool deal, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, dude. Let me disconnect this.
You on 3, right?
This one's on 6.
Oh, okay.
Are you on 3 over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, let me disconnect this.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to transfer it, okay? It may or may not finish. I just don't want to take a chance.
I get you. Sure?
Yep.
Oh, yep. This is me?
Yep.
You got me, dude? Hey. All right, cool. We'll wrap her up. All right, I'm going to call for Kale. I'm going to call for proud of the students and fans, cut 10. And cut 14 about Jaden Sellers. So 10 and 14. And you can play off the bump. Cut 2. Sellers to Sellers. So cut 2 on the bump, and then we'll call for 10 and 14. Okay? And then we'll wrap her up, man. All right, bub.
That sounds cool.
I'm going to call for 10 and 14 and play 2 off the bump. Cool. cut 2 on the bumper, buddy.
Wide receiver screen to the left side. It's Sellers. He's got an opening in the 30, 35, 40. And Jaden with a cutback in the 50. Trying to keep his feet at the 35, 30. Trying to outrun him. Going to get a block from Juwan Howell. He got it. Touchdown, Carolina. Touchdown, Jaden Sellers. 75 yards. Tommy called it right. Brother to brother gives you 6 points, and that's how you open it up against the team you are supposed to beat.
Yeah, that was a good way to open
it up.
Sellers to Sellers, 75 yards first play. A little bubble screen action. Jaden Sellers, good blocking. There was some excellent blocking to break Sellers, and then Jaden slipped the tackle, 75 yards, touchdown, 7-0. Boom, you get your good start. Everybody's feeling good, jumping all over each other. Everybody's happy, and then you just build upon it. It ends up being 51-7. South Carolina. So a good Saturday at Williams-Brice. You get Sellers to Sellers. That was fun to see. And Jaden Sellers has been interesting. He's kind of been building up more. And again, some of it was, again, when you make a change in offensive coordinator. But you saw Jaden Sellers through the year, but it's really seemed to pop here in the last few weeks. And we'll see where that goes moving forward. We saw also the other freshman receivers kind of step it up as well. Donovan Murphy with a touchdown catch. Brian Rowe had 4 catches and 5 targets. Could have been 5 catches and 5 targets. He had 1 bounce off his hands. It was the only drop of the game for the wide receivers. You saw some freshmen doing some stuff that you hope that's a good sign for the future at wide receiver, because these guys, again, they have a lot of talent. Now can you turn talent into productivity? We'll see. We'll find out. Also, Shane Beamer postgame talked about the crowd. Coming off of an awful loss at Texas A&M, it would have been a frustrating season. The thought was, okay, how many folks are going to show up for a game against Coastal? Well, a lot did. And here's Shane Beamer, cut 10, proud of the students and the fans for filling up Willie B on Saturday. That will be cut 10.
Yeah, first of all, best of luck to Coach Beck and Coastal. I know they got James Madison, I think, next week. That's a team that we have a lot of respect for, a coach that we have a lot of respect for. It's a good football team that had won 4 out of their last 5 games going into tonight. They were playing their best ball, had scored 40 points or more in 4 straight games. So we knew that tonight would be a challenge, but just really, really proud of our guys. Like that, this was not easy. And I know everybody just thinks you're playing a non-SEC team. You're just supposed to roll in there and win 51-7. It doesn't work that way, guys. This is college football. And especially the emotions of last week, the disappointment of last week, responding and, and people wondering how South Carolina's going to respond and how are they going to be motivated and how do they come back from last week. We made a pretty strong statement tonight about what this place is about and the culture in this program, as I knew that we would. Going back to, I think I said something about perception and reality earlier this week, and Hale asked me what I meant by that. And tonight was a great example of that, not just our team, but our fans and the way they showed up tonight, and for all the, disappointment of last week. We did that thing on social media last year about the people on Bush River Road that every single Friday at 5:55 p.m. when our buses roll by, they're always out there, those sweet ladies and the people that live on that street, and they're waving their Gamecock flags and they're cheering and clapping just to watch our buses go by for 10 seconds, if that. And sure as heck, they were there last night, just like we knew we would be. And then we showed up today for Gamecock Walk, and that thing was awesome with our fans, and I knew it would be. And then to walk out into Williams-Brice Stadium for another awesome environment, and how loud it was and the energy that our fans had in that stadium, it's another example of why this place is so special. It's another example of why we have the greatest fan base in America. So thanks to them, and that's what's real. When we talk about perception and reality, that's what's real. The greatest fan base in America and a really strong culture within our locker room right now. And you saw that. I want to thank the students that were here today in the cockpit, because they didn't have to be. I know Thanksgiving break has started here, and they easily could have bolted out of town yesterday and headed home, and they didn't. They stayed out here tonight to watch us play Coastal. So we're so appreciative for them. And appreciate the troops. Salute the Troops Day. It was awesome seeing those guys across waving their towels during Sandstorm and having a great time. We're so thankful for them and all they do for our country. And God bless the men and women in our military. And I'm so thankful that we were able to honor them today.
Yeah, look, we've talked about the whole show. That whooping you gave Coastal doesn't change the season we've seen. It's been a tough one. But Saturday was great in a lot of ways, because you got to see a lot of the potential that we were hoping we were going to see all this season that we haven't. You can ask a legitimate question, well, why haven't we seen this sooner? Why haven't we seen more of this? Especially on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, you do make a change of play caller / coordinator in some way, shape, or form with Mike Furry. It has looked different the last 2 weeks. And it has looked better. What does that mean moving forward? We'll find out as South Carolina will host Clemson to end the season. We'll see how the offense does against the Clemson defense with a lot of talented guys. Appreciate Jeannie. Thanks, Kale, for helping out back at the studio. We'll be back here again tomorrow at JT's to continue on our Beat Clemson, Beat Hunger Week. It's Rivalry Week. It's Hunger Awareness Month. And we'll be back here again. Any non-perishable food items, please feel free to bring them by for us again tomorrow. We'll do this again tomorrow. Post-game show. Appreciate you hanging out right here on the Game and the Game Network. Yes. Last one.